All right.
Hello, everybody. Awesome Comics Podcast. We're doing it again. Happy Free Comic. It's a national holiday. Free Comic Book Day. Was a big one this year.
It
We'll
was a big
get
one this year because we weren't sure it was going to happen with all the diamond stuff going on. Like we're
yeah,
lucky. We're lucky this happened.
yeah.
And
So,
the stores held true. They held true. They held
uh,
strong.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a sec. So, but real quick, we're just gonna jump right into some slides. Well, actually, let's jump into your plugs real fast,
We're
and we'll
gonna
jump into slides.
we're gonna slide into some slides.
We're gonna jump into some plugs first. Let's do your plugs. Everybody, get your plugs. There's you, buddy. There's
That is
you.
me on X. You know, it's weird to
Me,
see X because
baby.
I have mine set to what do you call that? Night setting, dark mode, whatever. So it's weird to see it so bright. So this is me, Rob Messick, on Twitter, doing my Youngblood thing, comic comic cover a day, and I'm having fun. We're up to the Roger Cruz part of Youngblood Volume 2. I've been getting a lot of responses from this. I put up some posters that people hadn't seen in a while. Danny Meeky's like, I forgot I even inked this stuff
Hmm.
twice. I did a combo cover magazine that Roger Cruz drew and a poster. So this is like really good stuff. This is back when a Youngblood was coming out by Roger Cruz and Eric Stevenson, and they would purposely put it out the same week as Joe Mad, Scott Lobdell, Uncanny X-Men.
That's right.
And Youngblood really held its own. They did it. They put them out at the same time, like 6 months in a row. It was just boom, boom, and it was really Youngblood was really heading somewhere at that point.
What
And that's what we're celebrating.
are all these people in Youngblood at this time?
This
Technically,
issue. All right. Here's the funny thing about this issue. Okay, what they're doing is they're choosing a new team. Like Team Youngblood's still going. Liefeld's Volume 1 Youngblood had ended. And the point of this new Volume 2 is we're going to pick the best characters and form the new Youngblood team. But here's a secret, Mark. This issue reads as though it's Team Youngblood 23.
hmm.
And then Youngblood number 2 reads like it should be Youngblood number 1 because they formed the team together. And I'm like, did they pull a fast one? I
Hmm.
don't know. It's very weird. If you read this issue, it's like the ending of like I said, the Team Youngblood storyline. This is another guy scan. Like the other one, I scan my covers. This guy put up, I guess his scan handle's void, but I only put it up because he photoshopped the cover together, and he photoshopped some images inside together. It's real dark though. Like I don't like the way it looks. We're hoping that Liefeld. This is just me scanning it on my computer.
Hmm.
I'm not good at Photoshop, so I just put the two images together. Or
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm not good at Photoshop. I don't have Photoshop,
Right. Right. That's good though.
so I just tried to line them up. But like I just wanted to showcase this art. Like this was really fun in the '90s. And Roger Cruz, I follow him on Instagram. It's a shame he's not on Twitter. I'd be posting the hell out of him, tagging him.
Yeah, it's fun. I thought this was just like a fan coloring. I didn't realize this is the same book. Wow,
Yeah, like
that's
my
crazy.
scan does. This guy darkened the cover for sure.
Yeah.
My scans maybe lighten it a little bit, but the line works really indeed. Like it does a really good job on the line work, which is what I want to say. I want to see the inks.
Yeah.
You know, you and I have this discussion where we don't like when colors come in and like touch the ink lines.
Yeah. You want to just accentuate the ink lines, so the coloring here. Who do you think colored this? Was this a Hori? Was this a Tanya? Maybe.
I think it was Drew.
Okay.
There's some issues. Drew got really good at making like translucent clothing, like see through or like water. He was really good with those effects. And it's funny to think this was done on a computer in 1995. Can you imagine how slow that is?
Yeah.
Like the amount of patience in me in a computer colors back then, I can't imagine. My computer
There's.
is like 12 years old. I'm living on a prayer here with my computer, and it
I know,
slows
right?
down like crazy.
Is this so? There's your Maximum Supreme on X.
Yeah, this is a week or two old.
Cedric
Um,
Nocon.
it's a great that's a great promotional poster for the Extreme Supreme Apocalypse. It's the most recent issue. Doing a page a day of Supreme, heading up towards that Alan Moore run.
Is Todd Knock layouts?
Todd Knock, I think this is Brian Denham.
Oh, okay.
Todd Knock and Brian Denham do this issue together, so it could be some Knock layouts, could be Denham finishing pencils, and then Norm Ratman just inking everything.
Right,
I got
right.
to talk to
It's
Norm
not
Ratman.
really clear.
It's not really clear. This isn't like the
Well,
best era.
like these are knock. That's knock
That's
knock.
100% Knock. Yeah,
Knock knock. Knock knock denim denim probably.
Knock Knock. Who's there? Denham.
Knock denim. Real quick, rather than go over this, even like I have this later in the news, but that's pretty much it. These, you know, what's really funny? I wanted to like subtitle
Yeah.
these like card posters that like they're all looking up, and the whole Superman like marketing is
Tagline,
look up,
right? Yeah,
right?
look up.
So like you're gonna do this again, you know. I think it's funny. They were giving these out apparently. They were giving these out during the Thunderbolts 40X.
Oh, nice.
I don't know.
Would have been
You,
nice.
would have been nice. You went to
I had
Cinemark,
I was
which is
Cinemark.
not Regal. No, I don't know.
Correct. It is not Regal. We saw it in Cinemark XD, which is their big screen. They try to make it like a IMAX, which isn't bad because better than like the Cherry Hill, Lowe's, AMC IMAX.
Which is the
So,
big room.
just a big room.
Yeah.
Like if we want to see IMAX, we go down to we usually go down to Atlantic City. Like that's where we saw the last Avatar movie. They got a really nice IMAX screen.
The
Do you
real
go to
IMAX screen.
where do you go to? You go to Willow Grove sometimes? Not Willow Grove.
I go to Warrington.
King of
I
Prussia?
go
Oh,
for
you go to
fucking
Warrington?
ever. Yeah, I go fucking far. I go far.
Yeah, the
I go
closest
to
real IMAX
Warrington,
screen
VA.
is minimally 45 minutes away.
Yeah. That's
I
like an
think.
hour 20 away for me to go to Warrington. There is one in Trenton. I should maybe hit up there. There's one in where we're outside of Princeton, Trenton area.
Yeah.
I should probably hit that because I'm in there most of the.
You think it's a real one, or you
weekend.
think it's a?
I don't know. I know I sent it to the group, but it got a little viral last week with Ryan Coogler talking about you can see Sinners in 6 different formats. Pieces of Sinners are different in each format, and some are showing in Super 70, some are showing 435, like it's or 235 rather, or 235 to 1. Some are showing it IMAX. There's some shot that's just regular 235, and then it goes tall once you get into certain sequences in a church or the musical sequences, which I know you know a little bit about. I don't want to spoil that here. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think it's gone because the Thunderbolts came out. I think I missed my window to see Sinners unless unless it starts to kind of come back around, or there might be a little bit of a break. Well, no, it's May, so I don't know if there's going to be another break. I think it's still holding a lot of money. There was, just talk about Sinners for a second, there was a lot of weird backlash about it doing really well, but all different studio heads and studios and reporting and deadline, and they were all like, I guess it did okay. Look, this is
They don't want to promote it.
they don't
They
want to
don't want.
promote it.
They don't want an idea where someone could be that auteur that can do everything. That he made a really good deal. So they don't
Yeah, he
want
made it right.
other people to make good deals. They don't want like uh, any new director who starts to become good. Like, well, I want to own it in 25 years or 20 years or
Yeah,
I
but
want.
revert. Listen, there's a reason why there's not like there was supposed to be either like a Rocky TV show or something. There's supposed to be something to that effect, but Stallone doesn't own Rocky. He has to fight with them about different things. He doesn't feel that that's
That's a good
okay.
pun. He's got a box with him.
He's got a box with him. He has to, but he has to like he can't leave it to his children. Like he can't leave Rocky Legacy to his children. It's co-owned and all co-opted. Like he can't do anything. That's why they fought about it. He wasn't in Creed 3. And Creed 3 is fine, but I just think you should have had a scene. It
It's
would be
something cool to go
beneficial.
back to, like somebody to talk to.
I don't know
Somebody.
how I don't even know if they have a line. I don't even know if they have a throwaway. I don't even remember if they have a throwaway line or two. But yeah, they had it's a weird situation where and I listened to this one podcast, a Paul Scheer podcast. I think it's I forget what it's called. He does like a movie review podcast, and he was talking about it, and he was saying that you got to let these directors do things because while Minecraft, they kind of let that guy do. Jared has to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Coogler doing his own thing. He's like, these are two kind of auteur directors. They're two like very different movies, but they're both ridiculously successful for the situation.
Right.
So I don't. You didn't see Minecraft. Your kid saw Minecraft, right?
My one daughter saw it. And she really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
She
it
said it
sucks.
was.
I'm a little too far out.
She said it was cringe, but also she liked it. So that's fine.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
she could.
Yeah.
No. And she's 15, but she's the
Yeah.
Minecraft generation.
Yeah. So
I thought it was going to be a bomb. I saw that trailer and I'm like, who the hell's going to watch this? Guess what? Everyone.
everyone,
Everyone
Yeah.
younger than us.
everyone, yeah,
Because what was the other video game movie? Borderlands. I'm not a video gamer really.
yeah, that was bad straight off. And also, what's really funny with that is that you have 3 Jack Black movies, right?
Right.
You had Super Mario
Mhm.
Brothers. which I heard
Right.
was fine.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It doesn't break anything or make anything crazy crazy. It's just good. It's just good. There's some funny stuff in it. We like it.
yeah. But then he was the voice of like the trash can moving thing in Borderlands,
All
and
right.
apparently he was never on set. And I think someone said it. I think Kate Blanchett said it's like, oh, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be with him on set, and then like he never was on set. You know what I mean? There was no reason for him on set. I find
He's
it
Pedro
weird.
Pascaling it.
Yeah, I find it
Season 3.
weird. There's a new Pedro Pascal movie coming out in like a week or two. It's streaming in the UK. It's a UK movie. It's like a horror movie, like taking place in like the 80s. And I saw like a picture of it. I was like, "Did this guy sleep?"
You know what it is? He spent so long trying to become Pedro Pascal. Now that
Yeah,
he's here, he's like, let me do
let me
everything
do everything.
because it could dry up.
He's got a good reputation because he was on the red carpet or something, and then Denzel Washington like interrupted his interview. And they're like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Good to see you." And he's like, "When?" And then he even asked him, he's like, "When are we making a movie together?" He's like, "You tell me." He was asking Pedro, he's like, "When should we do another movie?" And he's like, "This guy's great." Like, you know what I mean? He's like, "Come up to my house, we'll have tea." And he's like, "I will do that." Just kind of funny. Like I like actors vetting actors. I think that's pretty fun. It's free.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Free.
Did we ever talk about David Fincher doing a Quentin Tarantino movie? Do
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
no.
Brad Pitt's character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, apparently Quentin Tarantino wrote like a script for a movie for him because Brad Pitt loves that character so much, and supposedly David Fincher is supposed to direct it because
I
Quentin
wonder if
Tarantino doesn't want to make that his last movie.
his 10th movie. Right, right,
Right,
right.
his 10th movie, which is like
Hmm.
crazy. I don't know, man. It's
Well,
what
he
it,
wrote.
it's
I'd be curious to read that book because he wrote a book. He wrote a novelization in the style of the novelizations of like the movies that he watched in the 80s, like where they would add stuff.
yes.
So
I heard it's fun. I heard it's good.
yeah, I should get it in like paperback and like fuck it up. You know what I mean? I should like break it all up and like
Yeah,
bend the
make
spine,
it look like
fuck it up.
you
Yeah,
found it like at a
I'll
yard
put it.
sale or a
I'm
bookstore.
gonna roll over my car. You know what I mean? Then I'll read it. Then I'll be fine with it.
Then
I'm
you'll be
gonna put it in
fine.
my basement for like a couple days when it rains and it gets all, you know, full. So yeah, it's weird what we like. It's very strange what we like. I had so yeah. So this is my Instagram. We'll go into some stuff. I have some in the other pictures here. Idiosyncratic Pulp. I had the post this week. I had Butch Guice left us far too soon. He's 62,
Ah,
61, 62.
63, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So
But you
I.
told me real quick
Mhm.
the bonus tragedy of this is that you had told me his dad just died a couple weeks ago.
His dad, yeah, yeah, his dad
Like
died in January. Yeah, January,
at like
February.
90 something.
Right,
So when your dad dies at 90, you just kind of assume like maybe I'll make it that long.
right,
But
right.
then 63,
Yeah, I hate it.
ugh,
I hate it. I put it in the actual post. He's like, I hope you and your dad, because he in his post for about his dad was about, yeah, my dad would tell me stories, and that's where he got his love for storytelling, and he's like, where I got my love for storytelling as well from my father. So the so I just wrote in there like, and I was like crying, typing it. I was like, I hope you and your dad are. I was like, Jesus Christ.
dude.
Yeah,
The
I
loss
hate
of
it.
a dad is hard. Um, the only benefit to losing your dad is I think you actually become more of a man because now
You're the
you know what I mean?
man.
Like it's very strange. Like you think you're a man, once you're an adult, but
I
like you
check a
lose
couple
your
times a day. I check.
to make sure your dad's okay.
Check my penis. See if it's still there.
Oh, okay, it's still. I hope so.
Still doing great.
Not that it benefits me in any way.
That that the viewers know.
The
So
viewers do not need to know. Viewers,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Or you just wanted evidence,
Anyway,
like, hey,
sorry I cut you
you're
off. So
that's
you're
fine. No,
more of a man now.
no, you just feel like you step up. Like it's very interesting, and you know what? I hate that anyone should have to go through it. We're all going to have to go through it at one point, but it sucks. And it's better for you to go through losing your dad than your dad to go through losing you because dad is just
Yeah, we don't like that either.
horrible. I can't even think about it.
We still don't really like death. No, let's go into that. We're not really big fans. So
But Butch Guice, it's sad to lose him. I think my first exposure was like the X Factor ad of like Beast
mm,
kissing that chick was a Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, this art's really weird. Like
yeah,
as
yeah,
my
yeah.
my 12-year-old self is seeing that.
Yep.
And then I think Megaton #1 was one of the first comics I got where, what a weird, like, first Butch Guice where you notice the artist's name, you pay
Mm.
attention, you're like, when you figure out that Butch Guice is Jackson Guice, you
Right,
know,
right, right, right.
when
Well,
you
he has
finally
two
see that,
different styles. I mean, that's the whole thing too. As we've been talking about having some extra shows and kind of doing like a career chronology. Um, I have some Jackson stuff in the next. We'll hold that story real fast, but real quick, kind of run through my week. Is this is the Liam Sharp on his Substack. He has a free Substack. There's a lot of information, a lot of good story. But he's actually working on two. He's working on another story after this. So he had the story kind of in the works for a while, and then when it went away from Marvel, he's like, I guess I'm never publishing it. They knew he was a fan. Same thing with Dan Panosian. I think Dan Panosian might be working on something. He had this week's Conan book. He had something. So
Dan Panosian's Twitter handle is literally Urban
Urban
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just so. And look when he drew Prophet. When his Prophet is very inspired by Conan.
Yeah. I wonder if this is any good, but I don't know. Just because here's the thing is this, I just was looking at something and then it had,
What is this exactly?
I don't know. Apparently but see, here's the problem is that I get scared when I see Comic Sans, okay, for lots of reasons. But like this just looks cheap as shit, okay? Like this just does not, this looks cheap. So
It looks like
I don't
it's
know.
yeah, it does look very cheap.
But
It's a shame because I kind of like that cover.
yeah, well,
I think it's a good image.
this is the guy who drew the Tarzan book, the Lord of the Jungle book. He hasn't drawn for Titan yet. So he's very Buscema-esque. But yeah, there's 3 volumes of this. So maybe I'll just do the Kindles. Kindles. I don't know. I don't know. But it would be interesting to kind of go through, this. So it just
Is
says
is it
explains
just
the
Roy Thomas
creative. Just
talking
Roy
about the
Thomas
books?
talking about, yeah, just talking about. So I didn't. This is the second one. He says it's going through 50 issues, creative process behind the 52 to 100, plotted and scripted each issue. So
All right.
it could be an extra deep dive. I don't know if I need. I'm always in constant deep
20,
dives.
2019. This thing is 6 years old.
Yeah, there's three volumes of it.
I hope it's being brought to attention. Not that Roy Thomas isn't on our best side this year, but like
No,
I don't deny him trying to make more money.
I wonder if. Yeah, but see, I like him making money like this because this is like pure. Same thing
This is
when he
work.
when he did
This is
his
what Conan
cross-plane
fans.
comics was his cross-plane comics technically were his own out of his own pocket. That was with like another person, but that was like Roy Thomas's thing.
Yeah.
So
Is this print on demand?
it feels like it is. It feels like it is. So, but I don't know. It
Rick Veitch
says
likes their print on demand.
May 9th.
He goes, and it's just as cheap to print
May.
like a comic as it is to print like a 100-page graphic novel.
Yeah, I think
Costs the same.
some of my dad's stuff is on print on demand. Some of the Shark Like Bone stuff is print on demand. So
Sharklock Bones.
let me jump out here, go to the
We are
other.
so lucky. You are so lucky right now that Titan. I guess the books are doing good, the Conan books, because they're really like just got the best artists coming back. They're drawing their butts off. They're putting out good quality stuff. I don't know if you're talking about Conan later or not,
Of
but
course.
I just want to like give it to Titan. Like just, I hope it's successful. I hope it's as successful as I think it is. Who are these
Um,
guys?
these guys. This was our Whatnot exclusive Rob Liefeld page by page Youngblood 25 review that we did, and we just hit over 105 in less than a week. I forget. I think it's 6 days, 5 days. So yeah, I mean, it's getting a lot of good buzz. I know you reposted it on a couple boards, couple places. But yeah, this is a great, cool, short episode. Probably what we're going to be doing. There's another Youngblood episode coming, which is a page by page of the new deluxe edition, which we'll talk about later in the news. But yeah, this is doing really, really well. This week was a really fun Conan week to kind of stay inside of that.
You love this book, dude. This cover.
This made me insane. This first off, Wednesday was kind of funny. Was that my girlfriend had a bunch of stuff to do, and then it was like, "Well, would you rather just see me on Friday?" I was like, "Nah, I want to come up." And you even said to me, which is really funny, "You're way grouchier if you don't have your Wednesday date." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm like a
Yeah,
fucker. I'm like a fucker like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm a fucker Wednesday because I'm not seeing her.
yeah.
Thursday I'm a fucker. Friday I'm like I'll get into then I have to decompress. Anyway, so I called Ron's Comic World in Hainsport, and I was like, "Hey, Pat, the manager there. I was like, "Hey, man, you got any more Conans?" He's like, "Yeah, which one you want?" And he's like, "You want the Hurley or the Jusco?" I'm like, "Shit, I don't know." I was like, "Pull me the Jusco." He's like, "I have more Hurleys. They're on the shelf." I said, "Okay." Um, but this look at the lineup on this, right? So you have Dennis Culver, Chris Burnham, main story.
Mhm.
Okay. I forget the guy, the Kennedy guy, Marco Rudy. Jim Zub does a poem. Dan Panosian has a 2-page spread. Um, the Fafner guy, he did a previous Conan. It's not even on here. Tom Rainey does a pinup.
Oh, yeah,
And
nice.
then like the last story is like the Liam Sharp story, which I've been waiting for like 2 years or more. Which some of the I think I'm not sure. I have to look because I got the art book from Liam Sharp in Baltimore. I have spent like an hour with him. Super wonderful. Uh, him and his what just super super wonderful. And I know he gave me like a discount because his guy who like helps run the thing, he was like, "Are you sure he got all this stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, it's whatever." I just gave him a number, and he's like, "Because again, you get the markdown. You get to talk about like
Yeah,
if you get to have that. So, but this was like ridiculous. We're probably gonna do a separate video on this from the reviews. Can't get in reviews just because it's insane. It's insane. And also,
it's
this
fun.
cover is completely fucking insane. And this is
It
a
is.
story. This actually is from a Robert E. Howard short story. Because this is actually on in a different. Ernie Chan did it interior. So there's actually a different story in a different Savage Sword of Conan issue. And then I saw something recently where something was drawn. Like Kerry Gamble did it, and then they had a picture of them flying around him. So like this is a whole story. Like this not in this book though, which I think is really fun. But when I looked it up, I was like, wait a second, how old is he? And I think I forgot, 63, 64, something like that. But it's kind of crazy because he did this in 81. This is his second issue.
Wow.
But that's a very iconic Savage Sword cover. He did it when
Yeah,
he was like 22. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how crazy is that? Like, that's when he was 22. This is now. Like, it's not that different. It's more refined a little bit here, but it's crazy, dude. It's so fun. Yeah. So this week was the free comic that got my stack. Got my stack. I went to 3 stores. I was going to go to one store. This is the main store I went to. This is Main Street Comics up in Middletown, PA.
yep, I follow you. I got my stack.
He had the dollar books half
I got my
off.
stack. Go
I
on.
I got a long box, and I have something for you if you want it. This was literally like laying, and I asked him, and I said, is this for $1? And he's like, well, just put it in your box. So I got this kind of for free. So
Awesome.
if you want it, and this is it's probably as good as the one I have.
I might.
The only thing that it's like ripped right here, but it doesn't matter. Or I might even give you mine. But I think mine has marker on. I like mine a little more because it has a
Yeah.
bunch of marker on the cover. Mine has
You
like
you
yeah.
love things that make a comic unique. Like if you found one that had 99
Oh
cents written on it in marker
yeah
and
yeah yeah.
one that was like a little better condition, you're like, I'll take the 99 cent one.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the War is Hell that I got yesterday, dude. I got a War is Hell, and it's so crazy looking. Um, shoot. Oh, and I got this. I don't know if you have this. Do you have that? That's the
That the original?
yeah
I used
yeah
to. I think I sold it in the big sell. That's
yeah.
great though. That's a great issue because that
That's a great issue.
I seen a toy of that version of Shazam,
I don't know if I can
right? As a
find it.
sunburst one.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's not. It fools everyone because up to that point, Superman had never fought Shazam, so they fooled everyone and made like a fake Shazam. And I wonder if it was ever going supposed to be the real Shazam or not.
Well,
But I had a
that's what I'm not sure of.
I seen a toy of that yesterday at Heroes in Mount Holly
Oh, of that one?
of that Shazam, yeah, with the sunburst on
Oh
his
my
chest.
God.
Yeah, I had a really good idea for him for like I'd written my own pitch for Earth 2, like the Grant Morrison, Frank Whiteley Crime Syndicate book. I'm like, what would this character be like? Like, what would Shazam be like in the Crime Syndicate world? I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if he had that sunburst costume, you know? And
Yeah.
I think he got his powers from Native American gods, which like I love that idea. Because it wasn't Billy Batson, it was Billy Fawcett.
Billy
Billy
Fawcett.
Fawcett.
He says Thunder. Captain Thunder.
Yeah,
So
Captain Thunder.
dumb. So bad. It's a rough one. Anyway,
Well,
great
well,
for a
by the
dollar.
time, at least it gives them the opening for when we did get the Superman Shazam fight. They put it in a treasury size book.
Right,
Speaking of treasury
right, right.
size, oh yeah, I had a great day yesterday too. Free comic book day. Both my daughters wanted to come. They're comic booky. They see all the Marvel movies and such, and the DC movies. And they got their big stacks, and they try to grab extra Spider-Man comics. So that Lila, my one daughter, has two friends, and they're both girls, and they're both super into Spider-Man. And like every year, she'll get them a couple Spider-Man comics, and they just go nuts over it. It's just so funny. These kids today.
These
So
kids.
anyway, one of the neat things I saw, I went to Alex's the comic book store or the comic shop. What's it called? The comic store in Glassboro, which is near Rowan University, which is
Mhm.
kind of a famous college. It's like 5 miles from me. He had a really good selection, really good deals. Everyone's got great sales. The thing I picked up from him, and I wasn't going to buy anything, but I ended up loving it. It's the Chromium Action Comics facsimile
Ah,
edition.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like $15 cover price,
Mm,
but he sold it to me for like 10. He's like, give me 10. I'm like, yeah,
nice.
deal. You just gave my daughters each like 20 comics, free Lego toys. You know, that the little Lego packs he had. He got everything. Really good
Oh wow.
setup there. I really dig this comic. And then we went up to Heroes in Mount Holly, and they had a really good selection too. They were packed.
Yeah,
The both
Derek.
stores were
I
packed.
went to Derek's. Yeah, that's Derek's shop. He's a nice guy, man. Isn't he super nice? So fucking nice, that guy.
He was too busy to even talk to me,
Well,
which is
yeah.
funny because I'm a UPS driver and I deliver to his house, and I've never met him.
Oh, that's
The
fine.
post,
Yeah.
I'm friends with this one mailman who's like a comic collector. I just got him back in the comics, and
Hmm.
then he's like spreading out, which is great. And he's like, oh, that guy owns the shop in Mount Holly. I'm like, this guy, this address, 123 Fake Street. I said, yeah.
Gone
So
to his
I'm like,
house.
duh, now I got to talk to him. You know what he had there? He had the treasury size chromium cover, Jim Lee
The
first part of
Hush
Hush
too.
Tua,
Yeah.
which is like really awesome to look at, super flimsy. Like you can't keep that. You'll
Mm.
never get a 9.8 on that thing. It's
No,
like
no, no. Yeah,
it's
and that comes in a foil too, I think, right? That's
it
the
was the
foil.
foil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the foil cover.
I saw the first one up in Cyborg One, up in I always forget that.
But it's everything. It's
Quakertown.
all the same in-house ads and like
That's
and the
cool.
preview.
Are they doing all 12 issues? Like they're doing the tabloid like that? That's crazy.
It's pretty. I mean, if Liefeld's going to do it with Youngblood, and we've already talked that they should do it for All Star Superman. Like,
Oh,
that's
they
the
are
other
doing
thing.
it for Youngblood? They are doing for 2025?
I
They're
mean,
doing a
so
tablet?
far. Oh, tablet. Yeah, he said. Oh, yeah, Liefeld did say he wants to do a tablet.
Oh shit.
I don't know if he's doing a Chromium tablet, but he's doing a tablet,
Come on.
and he's doing Chromium foil covers for everything. So
I'm doing it. I'm buying this. I'm buying them. Um, so
it's
real
fun,
quick, so the sales I got in between the places that I went. So you went to comic book shop or comic book store.
right?
Alex is in Glassboro. So that's all you bought. You didn't buy because I'm more of a collector than you are, and you already decollected a lot of
I
stuff.
decollected it, but like sometimes it's like tempting just to get weird things. I think that's what I've been into.
Mhm.
Like I might take that Bicentennial Battles because I do have a soft spot for Treasury editions. I think I
Yeah,
just want weird things now. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I
like
mean, that's
I
it's
love my digital
surprising to
comics.
figure out. Hmm.
The stuff I read weekly. I love reading it on my iPad. I can't get away from it. I love reading on my computer. But like for Liefeld's new Youngblood book, not available digitally. But like when you buy that book, it's got such a neat cover stock. Like I just want.
Right,
I don't want to read Marvel comics on paper. They just feel disposable, which is the original intention of comics. Was you read them, you dispose of them.
right, right, right.
But I think those old ones in the 40s you disposed of were of better quality than the stuff Marvel's printing today.
Well, you don't know. Like, say with me, I have such a weird variety of I think like of what I like, right? So the last time I was at Main Street, I got a handful, and I saw more, and I put some back because I wanted a bit of a more of a variety. The biggest thing I got there was I got a JRJR run. I got the Jurgens run, pretty much almost complete. It's like 1 to 75 or something like that
Of what?
of Thor.
Okay.
Thor Volume 2, I guess that is, right? But the last time I was there,
Hmm.
he had a lot of copies of like the Superboy and Legion, like I'd say 4 or 5,
Oh,
right?
nice.
So what I did was I marked those down because, and then I got another stack, so that's my next stack. So and it's pretty close to complete, pretty close.
We'll have to do a
And
whole show about that stuff.
now this stuff here, this starts off. There have some Cockrum, then it
It's the best kind of rum.
goes to Cockrum, then it goes to Grell, and then it goes to was Steve Apollo, which is Jim Starlin.
Yeah, okay.
You
Right.
know,
I
so
I
he has
forgot about
his
that.
yeah. So he has his fake name.
His pen name, yeah.
And then and then when I went
Do
to
you?
final,
Do you have a fake name, Mark?
no, well, I'll just Pocket Rabbit, I guess.
No? I did. I was on a forum once in the late '90s, and I said to Brian, I said, "Hey, while I'm away on my first honeymoon, you maintain this forum for me, you know." And while I was gone, I got kicked off. Like, Milligan, what'd you do? He's like, "Nothing. I didn't do anything." I'm like, "All right." So I went in under a fake name for a while, and then Jeff Loeb's like, "Hey, can you guys write in for the Coven?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I wrote in the Coven using the fake name still,
Oh wow,
and the fake name I used to use was Jordan Elliott. Do you know what that is?
no.
They never say the name together. This is something I picked up. I should even say it because it's just funny to me. But Jordan Elliott is a in whatever happened to the man at tomorrow. Lois Lane's talking, and she has her husband Jordan, and she talks, "Hey, there's my husband Jordan." Whatever. He shows up, he disappears, and then he refers to her only once or twice as Miss Elliott.
Mm.
So her husband's name is Jordan Elliott, Jor El. It's Superman in disguise.
Oh,
See, I don't know why I didn't go with like Calvin Elliott. Like two on the nose maybe.
no, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Jordan Elliott.
So I'm not
So
sure if I'll do. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So when they named one of the kids Jordan on Superman and Lois,
Mm.
I'm like, oh, is that because of that story? But what's funny is the kid's brother, the actor who plays the kid's brother, his real life name was Jordan.
Oh, right.
He's like,
That's
hey,
right.
can we just switch names? They should have been like the kid who played Jonathan was his real name's Jordan. Just funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So the only thing. So I did have one book on my list, which it's so funny the way that I forget what I was looking at. I was looking at something, and then I went to something. It just you rabbit hole through. So the one book I wanted, I did get. I found it at Main Street, and it's a back issue. It's Fantastic Four 226. Do you know why this? I would want this.
Maybe. Oh, is that the first John Byrne?
Now, so what this is actually the Mensch Sienkiewicz run. Now, there's a giant
What
look,
number was it?
226. It's
Oh,
before
is
Byrne
that?
comes on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking of something else. I had to make the image bigger. I'm looking at a little postage size
Oh
stamp of
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Is that a Shogun Warrior?
Yes. Well, no, yes and no. So here's the thing: is Marvel lost the license to Shogun Warriors. They had 20 issues. So he uses the same characters, and they get in a robot to fight this other robot, and then they fight the pilot. So, but it gets super meta. It's the same three characters Doug Bench created. It's the same three characters, but this panel is so insane. This panel is what was clipped in this like old alter ego magazine I was looking at. It's like it's almost like what was it Thor? Is that you're not the god of hammers? You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
like
I
it's
love
coming
that
from
line. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like he says something like that. You don't have it says let me see. Genji's right. Besides, God, it's like all faded and stuff. And I'm old. My eyes are old.
Yeah.
Who says
Get
you
out
can't
them
be a
readers.
hero on your own without a giant robot? Heroism is a relative thing, and it can be done in little ways on a small scale, a human scale. So this is one of the Shogun Warriors like resigning himself, saying like, "Hey, we lost the license to being a big robot, so this is goodbye." Doug mentions like, "I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to these characters, so I'm just going to put him here." Like this entire issue is like a swan song to Shogun
That's awesome.
Warriors.
I read that issue,
Yeah,
God, 30 years ago.
you didn't catch
I
that it was the Shogun Warriors, you idiot.
I didn't.
How would you do that?
How would
Uh,
I? I wasn't I didn't. For some reason, I missed Shogun Warriors. I know it came out when we were like basically babies.
yeah.
Like
Other
I didn't even know there was a Shogun Warriors Godzilla. I didn't even know there were Shogun Warrior toys until after I was into Transformers.
Yeah, other quick finds. A second print
Oh,
strike
nice.
file gold,
Strife Strike File.
and I had a first print in some and then I think in another store, so I got two of these.
That's fun.
I got this cull on purpose because this cull first off, number one, I didn't have it, big boob cull,
Yeah.
but this is a Butch Guice backup. This is like one of his
Oh, cool.
first. This is one of his first books, so I'm going to put that up on the Instagram. This I didn't think would still be there, but the Angela trade.
Oh, nice.
This was
Oh,
half
wow.
off. It was $10, and that's a good price because that's basically cover price, and it has some damage, but it was half off at Final Boss.
Are the covers in there?
Yeah. You know what's in here?
The Brad Gorby story.
Yeah, the Brad Gorby stories. The couple of them. There's like two or
Yeah.
three of them.
Is it crazy that I pulled Brad Gorby out of my ass?
You pulled him
Like,
right out of your a
like
hole.
what else? What else is he known for other than those Angela comics,
Yeah, you know
which were like,
what's cool about this is that they actually have the trade dress, which I feel like I'd rather have the trade dress on there. It doesn't say like digital edition or whatever. 'Cause I think they have a Spawn poster like #1, and it says digital edition. Like they literally just took the file
ugh,
from that,
gross.
so you can buy a Spawn #1 poster.
And it says digital edition on it.
Now, when you were at, speaking of posters, when you were at um, Heroes
Heroes,
in Mount Holly,
and
did
I
you
saw
see
the
the
awesome.
posters?
I
Did you
saw the
see
ones on the. I saw some of them. Yeah,
when
the
you
ones
walked
on the
in?
wall. Yeah, after I walked in, they're great. I want that McFarlane Spider-Man one.
I bought that. I bought it
When? Yesterday?
yesterday. I
Yeah.
bought it. He
Oh,
had
you
one
were there.
left.
Oh, that's
I said,
funny.
do you have any more? I said, what is that? And I said, is that a press poster? They didn't make that press poster, or maybe they did. If they did, it was very expensive. Um, he's like, I got a guy. Well, it's not going to be in trouble. He's like, I got a guy who makes them, and I don't know if I can get in contact with him, and then we can just get custom ones made because we both have ones that we would want. But
Yeah.
so I bought that, and it's pretty good, like print quality. So yeah, I bought that Spider-Man #1, the McFarlane. I'm gonna put it
All
in my
right.
living room.
You gotta next time I
Um,
come over, you gotta show me that. I want to. This sounds so stupid. I want to touch it. I want to like get like. Is it like
yeah,
a thick
no, you're right.
paper?
You're right. No, no, no. It's a good hefty stock. Correct. It's gonna look great. It's gonna look great. Um,
So I have a
and
couple posters. I'm like, I kind of want to put them on like that plastic. You know, like what Sal used to do at Hall of Heroes. Like he would take his posters, and I guess they're glued onto like a plastic piece. I don't know.
uh,
It's like a plastic mat almost, like a
oh, I see. Yeah, I have a foam. You saw that. I have an X-Force poster that's on like a foam board.
that's what I'm talking about. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of a plasticky foam. Like I have a couple. I
Right. Right.
got the
Right.
McFarlane Hulk one, but like I have a couple other posters. That I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting them kind of
You just
like,
go to Michael's and get that like board, and then just like
yeah.
and
I'm
then
so
but
worried
then you just
about
have to be
doing it
really careful
myself.
about gluing it. Yeah.
I don't
Um,
want to ruin. I don't want to ruin.
Other stuff I got for $1 or less. This was at Final Boss 2. So this is a Wildstorm 30. It's a
Oh,
pretty
cool.
thick book, dude. And that's a Bermejo cover, but there's a ton of art in here, dude. There's
It's.
a
I think they
ton of
take
stuff
like
in here.
Wildstorm 25 and put it in there, and then just I think add to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's just a ton of work in here. There's a ton of work in
It's
here.
no, it's great. You got 2 or 3 pages of a new J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
And he
I
wrote
think
it
the
too.
I
I
think the
got
other
this
one.
Youngblood, which I think I have,
Oh yeah.
but
Speaking of volume 2,
yeah, this is a volume 2.5, but the
5.
volume 2.5 has the big boots. It's got the big boot shaft.
I think that was intended to be a Shaft one
Yes.
shot, and then he's just like, I guess, got busy with something else. So he's like, okay, I got these pages. Let's put them in the back of this issue. There's a variant for that issue.
Versus Jericho. I think I have the variant. That's what I have. I have the variant, but didn't have the regular because it has this.
Okay.
Does it have a Jericho variant?
Yes, I think it's.
Okay,
I
I
think
have
it's
the
a New Mutants
variant.
'87, right?
Yes, I have the variant of this, but I don't have this. I don't have the Roger Cruz one. So
Okay.
I'm going to do a board downstairs, and this is going to go. And because I thought about this, because I knew 2 weeks ago you came over because I gave you a Youngblood 4 because you were selling one of your Youngblood sets. But yesterday I was able to get this second print,
Nice.
which I had when I was younger, flip book second print. It's completely identical, by the way. It's completely identical. Like there's nothing different
No,
whatsoever in it.
no card.
No card. Yeah, that's right. But I also got. I ended up buying 3 of these because I think I found it in one of the shops. I know I had one, but I don't remember which one. So I don't remember which one I had for the young blood
Yeah.
with the with
Right.
the
The green.
different
What a weird
coloring.
choice. Like this isn't like he didn't go out purposely to make a variant, but he probably had a color. It's like, hey, you want me to do this? He's like, no, do this.
And
But I
then the
still
other
like
side
this. Yeah.
is
Same thing.
different too. Yeah. So then you have that. But
Yeah.
it's going to go on my Youngblood board because and then I think I only had one copy of Youngblood 3,
Yeah. There
but
is
I
no
needed the Supreme cover.
right. There's
So
no variations on that one as far as I know.
now because I'm going to have to do right downstairs, I'm going to have to do on my board. So I'm going to do it today. Pull like 100 books. I have 50 slots or 58 slots, something like that. So I have to do. But the first Youngblood board is going to kind of be crazy because it's going to be the ad from Megaton 8 or whatever.
Right. Which is great.
I'm just going to fold it back, put it in the back. I don't care. I'm never going to sell that book. You know what I mean? So, but I want the ad.
No.
So I have the ad, then I'll have one, then I'll have the second print, Then I'll have the new print. Then I'll have 2-2, variation of
Not that you have
2,
time for this, Mark, but
2,
you should like
2, 2.
scan in that Megaton ad and
Yeah.
retro color it as good as you can because you're not bad at digitally coloring,
Yeah.
and then put that up. But also, good luck with finding time. You work crazy hours, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's one of
Yeah.
those
It's
dream
only
things.
getting.
Like, yeah, that would be fun to see.
Yeah. So that's just a handful of stuff that I got, but that's pretty fun. But of the books I got, let's see. So let's compare with what we got. So I got the Planet Death, which
I
you
got a
didn't
different
you didn't
version of
get
that
this. You
at
got different
Baltimore.
versions of Baltimore. Right, right, right.
Yeah,
It's probably the same stuff inside, but this is the one that I think they sold stacks to comic book stores for really cheap.
right, right. They sold
So it
like
has
six hundred
no.
thousand,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like
It has
almost
a
like
dollar ninety
20.
nine like cover price, but
Nice.
it was Main Street was handing them out. I got the Godzilla New Heroes,
Yeah, that was great.
IDW.
I can't wait to read all this stuff, dude. I've read like
Yeah,
two of them.
I got the
Of course you
Conan, of
did.
course.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got the Conan. This artist is really good too. This is and again, like you said, this is a hefty fucking book. And there's two bits of news in this, in which we'll kind of get into when we get more into the news. But yeah, this was Jao Canola. No, it was Ivan Gill. I'm sorry, Ivan Gill. I don't remember seeing him draw before, and that was great. But in the back of this, there is an announcement of number 25. Well, it says I can't tell in a different thing. Oh no, it's our 25th issue. The 25th issue is going to be original, done in one, and it's Alex Horley, uh, fully painted.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so
You
that's
love Alex Horley. You love Conan.
I
Give
do.
me, give me all of that.
Yeah, this was super fun for me because I think when they put the preview out for the Energon universe, you couldn't see it was just him. I think they blacked all that out
Yes,
because
they
they
blacked
didn't
all it
want.
out.
So here we got my boy. So it's been a fun
Your
week.
your first Transformer,
My first
the
Transformer.
the
There's Hound.
the first Transformer that got rolled around the neighborhood.
And what the bummer about this thing was, as I was talking to the third story is drawn by I was at Final Boss. The third
Did you
story
did you read it?
is drawn. I haven't read it yet. Now
Oh man,
the third story is literally drawn by a guy who was there, Connor Hughes. I'm talking to him about tech because he had a lot of stuff. I've seen it. I follow him on Instagram. I see a lot of his tech, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And I asked him if he's working on anything for Skybound. He's like, "I cannot say," which means yes. Which I think you are. I think it's already been announced that he's doing either some fill-ins or
yeah, he's definitely his
so.
name's definitely been attached to an issue or to avoid rivals.
So this is a flip book, right? This is all in,
Right?
right? And it's a new story.
Yeah, yeah. I only read like a page or two of a. I know Dan Slott did the first story, so but then I got interrupted, so I'll get back to it.
Maybe I'll feel better about them being in all the same universe. It's interesting. It's a Common Coley. It's layouts. Oh, okay, well that's someone that normally works with him and stuff. Stefano Nessi does finishes on Giuseppe Camuncoli layouts. Jeff Lemire writes. So it's funny. Jeff Lemire writes none of the three books. They're basically showing All Star.
Hey,
Absolute
did you
fucking
listen to Jeff Lemire on was it Word Balloon last
no,
week?
no. I
It's pretty good.
should.
He's pretty
Yeah.
excited. Like he's got a real love for JSA that really excites me.
So the first so many pages is all kind of the first wave stuff. We're probably going to do a separate review, which is
Yeah,
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and then in kind of shards of universe stuff here.
always good with the shards.
Uh,
They always show like weird stuff that won't happen or
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't tell. Yeah, there's the Martian Man on her. Yeah, there's the Flash and the Green Lantern. Okay, I don't know what that middle one is. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Anyway, so that and then on the flip of that is the Raphael Albuquerque. What's funny, last night I had this open and I was looking through the Superman, and my one cat, Gypsy, came by as my daughter's cat Sophia's, and just laid down and just was staring at the Superman picture, like really enamored with the Superman picture. So just like
they're not. You should actually name. She shouldn't be called
so,
Gypsy. She should be Romani.
this
That's a racist name.
what
Gypsy.
what?
It's a racist name,
Oh
dude.
no, it's
I know.
Gypsy after like Stevie Nicks Gypsy. That's not racist. It's after Stevie Nicks. Um,
Sure.
I looked through a little bit of this. When did he get this when did Johnny get his fucking mustache
Issue one of
of
Ryan
the
North's
Ryan
issue.
North?
Yeah, it was like a joke thing that wasn't going to last, but then they kind of liked it.
It's so prominent, dude. I don't know. It's kind of
It's
funny.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get rid of it for the new movie.
Yeah, I do
Like, not
like.
that you got to look like the movie. I don't want to see Reed Richards all of a sudden start to look a little bit Spanish. Like, don't make the characters look like the movies. But
Yeah,
like in
yeah, yeah.
this instance, I wouldn't mind Johnny Storm losing the stash.
And
It's
then
like a
there,
joke. It's a joke that's just lasted like 40 issues.
yeah. Then what? And then they have the giant size X-Men stuff in the back, which looks, I don't know. And then they just fucking just insert. No one cares.
Ugh.
Still trying to make her happen. Still trying to make fetch happen.
Listen, not using her will probably make her more popular.
Didn't we get
She's a
this?
good character.
This is we didn't get it one yet, right? So this is kind of zero. It's kind of like
Okay.
Star Wars Zero. But this covers all three books, I guess. It covers a little bit of all the books. But I think that one of the characters, this person, Ryan Zinat, is going to be like in the main Star Wars
I
book.
heard that. I heard that.
Ultimate Universe, which was it's Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Universe with Dennis Cam, Cody Ziegler. Oh, it's Jonas Sharf again, which is good. Jonas Sharp, I believe, is doing that Incursion miniseries. So that's cool. And from what I heard an advertisement about this because I don't want to. I try not to read solicits, but the Miles Morales in the Incursion is not a new Miles Morales. It's the Miles Morales. So that's kind of neat. Like that actually kind of follows not really the movie per se, but like having him kind of float into that universe, which is not his ultimate universe, right?
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
And yet a JR. Yet a JR, but he did something different with his eyes, and I don't like it. This thing here.
I don't know. When I read it, yeah, I see. I'll see how I feel when I
And he did
read
it
the issue.
twice. But you know what? Like, listen, I guess he's got to make it interesting for himself because pretty much on the last like four reboots, he's been part of the last four volume ones in some fashion. So you got to make it interesting for yourself. Got it.
It's weird. Is it just he's got a love for Spider-Man, or he just that's the biggest paycheck Marvel can give him? Because I look around and I just like
Right.
the new Cable series. Like I would have loved to get John Romita Jr. back on Cable.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right. Um, you get this is a Red 5 kind of everything. I
I
don't
didn't know
know.
Red 5 was still around.
I didn't know either. I thought they did. What was the one book? Atomic
Atomic
Robo.
Robo, yeah, which
Yeah,
I
that's
loved Atomic Robo, but they left to make their own company. I think
right.
they
They
did
have
another book.
four
It wasn't
books in
bad. It was
here.
like a dinosaur book. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, Jeff Spokes or something. I feel like he worked on that. But yeah, they have four different, or two different three different storylines: Snow Monkey, Enigma Town, the Petrichor.
You know,
Uh,
I give him respect for keep going, man.
yeah, you got the Black Mirror one shot.
Black
Which
Mirror, yeah.
the only problem with this is I'm pretty sure when I was looking through it, this is just the episode.
Is it just the episode?
Kinda, yeah. And then
Okay,
in the back, like I thought it was what I thought, and this is a bummer. What I thought that they were doing in this when I was looking through it,
yeah,
I thought if you're doing Black Mirror and Black Mirror is like you're going into like some type of tech wackadoo shit at the end, right? It's a Twilight Zone,
yeah.
but with new tech. I thought because they're doing Black Mirror in the comic books, and if you want to steal this, Twisted Comics, just do this. Is I thought that because the book is just regular pen and ink, and then as it goes into like the last couple pages, it's really sketchy, and then it goes into pencil. And then I was thinking, I was like, oh, are they just doing this and they're going into this world? They're going into like a comic book, which would make
Right.
sense for this. And then in the back, they're like, yeah, no, it's not done. We just figure we just want to put it out, give you as much as we can.
Boo, boo.
And it's like, oh, well, you fucked your own shit up. You know what I mean?
Two things that do.
That's okay.
There's an issue of Jupiter's Legacy where like one of the characters has like mind powers, and he captures this guy in like a reality box, and the way he's captured around it, it goes to like pencils and inks and blue lines, like in a comic book way.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's really awesome. Like Frank Quitely drew it. Like he drew the shit out of that second miniseries. That's good. Ed Piskor did this extreme homage comic that went along with his hardcovers. Really hard to get.
Yeah, yeah. I think you
And
understand it.
he does a little of that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I just scanned it and sent it to you.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
like, Mark, you got to read this.
Yeah,
That's really good. But yeah, I have something. I'll tell you about it off camera.
off camera. This is the best of 2000 AD. I'm really close to doing a 2000 AD. Okay, so I have two dumb projects that are like the next because I want something giant, even though I didn't finish two out of the three giant things I haven't done. Is reading every issue of 2000 AD, or at least skimming it. Or what do you call yours? What do you call it?
Uh, Put me on the spot and I forget the word I use.
I forget what you use.
I
Glance.
glance it.
You glance it.
I
So it's
glance it.
it, it's a little heavier than a skim, but
Yeah,
not quite a read. Okay,
not quite a read. It's like
and
big. You kind of point out big words. You get the point.
you
Yeah,
get the idea. I mean, it's all visual storytelling. So,
yeah, it
but
is.
when I looked at this right off, I was looking at it. I was like, oh, that's a Hayden Sherman, and it is Hayden Sherman. I don't know if Hayden Sherman is. I think he's American, so it's a little surprising because most of the stuff in here is are all it's the go tos, right? It's the Ian Eddington, Peter Milligan, John Wagner. But there's a Jock story. I'm not sure when it's from. I mean, it does say best of, but the Jock story in the front looks
Shock.
nuts. That looks nuts. I don't know if they have anything out. This is from Opus Publishing. Did you get this? The Frazetta verse?
No, I didn't pick that one up.
Yeah, man.
Or
Let
I
me
didn't see
know.
it.
Well, they have a
See,
Death Dealer book, and Richard Pace does this Death Dealer. Richard Pace from Pit Crew.
I like Richard Pace a lot. Really nice guy.
And
I'm
then
friends with him on
there's
Facebook.
yeah, so it's like pretty much like his original paintings, and I think his daughters run this company, so that's fun because Frazetta Girls they do a lot of toy licensing, and their toys look nuts. They're so cool looking. Yeah, but there's a Mothman. I don't know. That looks again. All these books are just they're heavy.
Yeah,
They're as this is a $3, $4 book. I mean, that's what's so crazy about it. Again, I
I
went to
really
three
hope.
stores, so I kind of got like. And what's cool about it is my brain. I didn't get any doubles. I knew you were already out there, and you didn't really tell me to like look for anything. But I'll probably look for them if you want any of these. Did you get this Def Leppard's Hysteria
Yes.
number
Yeah. That.
0? The coloring on this looks great. Like this is my palette. These purples and like look how crazy that is. This
Yeah.
looks way good. And you know what? What's his name? Elliot Rahal wrote that. Do you remember they had a Centipede book that I think Dynamite had? Did you read that book?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I
That
did
book
read
was
that.
by Elliot Rahal. It was
Okay.
fucking great. I think that book was fucking great. It was really, really good. So that was really good. Of course, we have this, which Chris Batista drew.
Yeah, you must have been like, yeah. I mean, you knew about it, but like,
It
still,
wasn't. I don't feel like it was at one of the shops. I went to three shops. One of the shops did not have it, but I got it off the first one. But yeah, the Mach 5 looks great. This whole thing
yeah.
looks really, really good. So, but I'm a little nervous because well, I think. Okay, so they have a Racer X. I wonder if they're doing a Racer X. They didn't do a publishing on it. Shoots. And then and then in the back, this has a Tom Denerick, uh, gritty noir thing called Endless Night. Tom Denerick. Tom Denerick. Well, maybe what's kind of crazy about that is that like Chris Batista was a good '90s artist, but he's
Right.
done some DC work. And he started doing Steel. Steel #1 was my first like kind of experience with him. But he's done some good stuff. Did some Legion stuff, but I
Yeah, he
feel
did
like
some Legion stuff I really like.
he
He's
definitely
solid.
once he
He's
went to what's he doing? He's doing Battle of the Planets. He's doing Gotchaman, and really good. So if he's doing a Racer X like mini or a one shot, whatever, yes, yes. So this was good. Um, the let's see, I got your find your new fear. Is it, I think this cover is as hard to read as the logo, as the IDW
I
logo.
I wasn't even interested in that book. I kind of looked over it because
Uh,
look,
I'm curious on what the 30 Days of Night, and 30 Days of Night is not written by Steve Niles. Steve Niles is the consultant, which I
hmm,
think is a little weird, but that's okay. But Rodney Barnes he writes good horror stuff, so that I wanted to look at that. I want to look at that, and then I want to say that the last story, which is by someone who I've seen around a little bit, named Sandy Tanaka. It looks like kind of that Mindy Lee
Sandy
style,
Cheeks.
you know.
Yeah,
Uh, did you get Post Malone's book?
I did get Post Malone's book.
Looks fucking awesome, by the way. This looks fucking awesome. And this is Zach Gooden, who we talked about. We just talked about this a week or two ago. Written by Post Malone. Yeah, dude, it looks cool as shit. It looks really fucking good. Look at how good that looks.
Yeah, no, that looks amazing. He found a
Dude,
really good artist.
that's fucking nuts. Um, we kind of goof on this guy because he's getting so much work, but I got my monsters to
Yeah, I'm
zero.
excited. I'm excited to read that book because I don't really
Looks
know.
scary. It
Yeah,
looks
I love a good.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's. I don't know if it's photo real the stuff, and I know he's. I know, So I'm. I don't know, but Keen Spot I don't believe has like a. I don't know if they don't sell digitally. I'm not really sure because I feel like that he has like 4 or 5 issues that's already out. And this book, I don't. Let me see if you got this
which is
book.
funny because I thought KeenSpot started off as like a digital
I know that's what I thought
platform.
too. Well, I feel like I've looked for this book on a couple of spots and I can't find it. Let me see. This is my last book, and this I don't know if you got this book.
Okay.
This is a Ridley Scott book called Modeville, and it's like literally like the black label, oversized. This is a heavy
No,
cardstock.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew it, and I'm not sure if this was limited on, or maybe it would cost more.
Maybe,
But I don't know if this is it's by like Scott Free is the so I wonder if this was like a treatment, like a cover, like a movie
maybe.
treatment or something like that. So it looks good. So
I'll just go through
Modeville.
anything different I got from you. I got
Yeah.
the I Hate Fairyland image comic because
Okay.
I enjoy that book.
Get you in your bags.
Got the Minecraft manga. I'm like, that looks fun. Yeah, and then my daughter's got all the stuff too. I just want to read everything. Gargoyles Demona.
Mm.
First appearance of Fantastic Four fighting the gargoyles.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Street
Another
Fighter. Street Fighter comic.
is that
They
moved
fight.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who are they fighting? Their Street Fighter versus. That's
Rival
another.
schools
Yeah, I think that's another manga or
or video game.
yeah.
Power Rangers Prime.
Yeah, is that Dan Mora cover?
Yes. So smart move.
Cool.
Smart move
Yeah,
getting because he started off there.
yeah. It's cool that he goes back and just works for them at time to
Personally,
time.
I'm excited about this. I
I
love the EC
forgot to
horror
get
comics
that.
lately.
Yeah,
Did
I
you?
forgot to get that. Yeah.
I made sure my daughters got them because they're in horror movies. I'm like, you girls got to read some horror comics. Like, I know, I've given you. They've read manga and fantasy and of course superhero comics, but like,
Mm.
and some humor. And this one, I just thought like, what a weird move. But you know what? Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls,
Right. Right. Right.
just and it's awesome because it's like old school Thundercats. It's neat.
Yeah, that I think that's the cover of is that the cover of issue number one with him running like that? I think
Ah, maybe.
it's a star comic. I remember
Right.
that pose of Lino with the arm up. So Lino with the arm up.
With that, and of course, like I'll show it again just because I love it so much.
Oh yeah.
Foil Action
Yeah.
Comics #1.
Yeah.
That's how it originally came out. Now I was showing this to the girls because I'm like, listen, this is the first Superman comic. I said he's amazing to even be put in this comic. It's amazing they put him on the cover. Like
Mm.
none of that makes sense. It's almost like a Destiny type of situation, and they made him the first story in the book.
Yeah, we kind of talk about that because we don't understand how was Amazing Fantasy 15 canceled or how do we know it went well?
Yeah. How do you know it went well?
How do we know it went well? I'm sold out. I need many. Who are you calling? I don't understand. Are you calling anyone? You telegramming them? I don't understand. Superman. So that's the whole thing is that like, what was the print run there? And then how did the print run work? And how did we know that Superman's popularity was better? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he
it's
didn't
really
show up on the
crazy.
cover again until like issue 5, something
Right.
like that.
Right. Yeah. It's really weird. This is what I feel like. This is why I don't like some reprints. I like facsimiles. But like the Savage Sword of Conan hardcovers, because a lot of the back matter material is owned by someone. Like I got some recent Conan Savage Swords this week, and there's another. It's not. It's all for $1 at fucking Ron's, dude. The hell, he had like 20 of them, and I needed like 16 of them.
That's awesome.
And then I was going up, and then I had like another stack. He's like, and I was like, and he's like, it's just crazy. You just get. I think I got like 2 or 3 for free. I was like, oh, I forgot
They're
these couple. He's
they're
like,
happy to
that's
see
okay.
you. They're like, listen, this guy
Yeah,
moves the stuff we have sitting around.
but this character here, it's so funny, and I almost feel like this is like Black Mark again. His name's Chain, CH, Chain of the Yellow Hair. But Gil Kane owns this, so like you got to contact the Gil Kane estate if you print this. So that's not they're not doing that. Um,
Yo,
but
I don't know the
when I
Gil
look at
Kane
this,
estate. Yeah.
when he does these little print boxes, this was what he did with Black Mark, and I love Black Mark. Black Mark, I love Black
Well,
Mark, dude. Black Mark's
I
fucking
only
great.
know, White Mark.
Because I have the Black Mark paperback that I found in the wild for like $1, and that's a little book. And then IDW or somebody did it recently where they put together all of it that was in multiple magazines because that showed up in Marvel Premiere. It showed up in a couple of the magazines, but yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of that. So my point is that with that Action Comics situation is that when they reprint the old Supermans, it's just like that. But there's a lot of like stuff inside of there that like you have the crazy golden age characters and
Yeah,
shit.
you got the cowboy or the magician or the gangster. It's always something
Yeah.
so pedestrian to but popular at the time.
Oh, and
It's
lastly, I'm giving this to you, but I got a bicentennial for basically free because I got a long box and this was just sitting over there. So I asked Mike at Main Street, I was like, what are you doing with this? Like, is this $1? He's like, yeah, it's put in your box. I'm like, okay. Like, like I already have a full long box. And
now was
I
it you
just sold it
telling
to them.
me the new facsimile edition of that is smaller?
Yes. Yes. Do I
And they
have
made a
it?
hardcover for it too, didn't they?
Yeah, they made let me see. I think I have it right here. I can literally reach it.
Oof, there's a bald spot.
Look at that. Boom. So it's literally it's
Oh,
slightly smaller.
no me gusta.
I wonder why. Well, you know what?
But
You're not losing anything. No, it's still a little smaller. Yeah, like it doesn't need to have these gaps up top because these don't, but this doesn't. So I don't know. Maybe it was a print situation because they don't have it. So they don't have those gaps up top.
right. Interesting. Awesome though.
Now I have one. I'll give you this one. This one technically is better pages. It does have like a tear, and that's why it's like, yeah, it's got a tear. I'm like, that's great. That's great. But
Right, right.
the one that I have has marker on it. Has the wax marker. And I love that. So
Yeah, I'm not getting it graded. I did own a pretty good. I had a pretty good treasury collection before I, offloaded everything. I used to love my, and I used to keep them in a. Cause I have all my comics are bagged and boarded, but I used to keep them in a
hilarious. None of my
top
comics are
loaders.
back and boarded, bro.
I know none of your books are bagged and boarded.
You get
My
bonus
house,
stuff in this like I forget what they call this format because I have this and then I have the Silver Surfer Black
that's nice.
and they have a cool like the matte or whatever I guess the shiny I don't know
The Shiny
but this
Mat.
book's insane. This is an insane book. I should
No, I
review
love
this.
that book. It's
I
a
love this book.
Chad Moore, Donny Cates, great coloring.
Yeah, it's funny. I got that Doctor Strange miniseries this week too because I bought 2 issues at Ron's. It was like issue 2, and I was looking for them. If you find sometimes if you're looking through the dollar boxes, they're just kind of sometimes they're spread out. Sometimes they're all in a row. Sometimes they're spread out. So then I put the ones I think I'm going to get to the front. I didn't realize I bought 1 or 2 of them when I sorted it Wednesday, and then Saturday I was like, I'll find the rest of them, and I found them. I found them at Heroes, the Derek shop. I found the last 2 I needed. I needed issue 1 and 4. But I ended up getting 2 and 3. But I normally wouldn't buy 2 and 3, but I did by accident. So, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah. So anyway,
but it was a really good free comic book day. I had a really good day with my
yeah,
daughters. They got a
everyone
lot
did
of fun
really
stuff.
well. Derek said that it was bigger than last year, and he says we were slammed. So he did. He was super happy. He made a ton of freaking money.
It's good. It's good.
Everybody made money.
And for me, it was fun because we did that, got a quick bite to eat for them, and then we went and saw Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like a comic book day, and we've done this for the past God, I don't know how many years since Marvel and comic book day have been aligned. I've been taking my daughters to see a Marvel movie and free comic book day. It's a shame that the comic book store down in the Hamilton Mall closed because they would do a whole mall takeover
Right,
of that
right,
section
right.
of the mall, and basically it'd be like a comic book show, and people have original art there and
It's a
their
bad mall.
crafts,
That
and
mall sucks. There's
it.
not enough traffic for that mall, which kind of killed that store.
True, true.
Yeah.
But it's neat because that mall has like when I first started taking my daughters there, they still had like a Johnny Rockets open.
Mhm.
There's like a carousel,
There's
like when you
Yeah,
walk in,
right. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
a merry-go-round, right. So we used to have a really fun time going down there.
Too bad.
Too bad. And I always had friends set up. Dex Weeks, good friend
Yeah,
of
yeah.
mine, Mark Polton, you know, associate.
Yeah, we'll get into Thunderbolts talk in a minute. Let me run through this. So this is what I'm going to put up today on my Instagram. This is the Butch Guice. Butch Guice. This was originally I was going to put this up first, but then I ended up putting up a Walmart book, which I'll have next. So I'm going to put this up today and color correct it and all that. I might have to color correct it in my photo before I put it into actual Instagram because they're a pain. But all the face acting is this is Butch Guice who just passed. Like the face acting is crazy in this. It's a rough book too. This book was kind of nuts. Really, really good book. He only had like 5 or 6 issues of Birds of Prey. But yesterday I did get his Butch Guice's Kurt Busiek run, whole run. He did like 9 issues.
Oh,
He
what of
did a
Aquaman?
yep.
All right,
Then it went to like Tad Williams or something. There's Bear, my boy. So this was all. I just kind of did like a. There's my Butch Guice selection that I had, but this is what I put up. I put up Futurists.
that's neat looking.
Yeah, Futurist was good. It was a tight, good
Whew,
book, man.
that's awesome looking.
There's 3 issues in print and then the fourth issue. Now, when we talk a lot about the digital and the marketing and all that stuff, these were Walmart comic books. Okay, so
Insane.
when you bought them, they would have these big stickers on them, and they were kind of easy to come off. I left them on there because I think it's funny. Um, but yeah, so this universe was basically co-created by the guy who wrote it. I forget his name. And it's kind of how it goes. Is the guy who wrote it, and then it was Mitch Breitweiser, who it looks like I went on his Instagram because I tagged him. He doesn't do any comic work anymore. He did a ton of Captain America. He did like the Theater of War books with Paul Jenkins.
Right.
Great. The colorist Betty Elizabeth Breitweiser colored this as well. The character designs for this were by Mitch, but they neither of them do comic work anymore. And Betty did the first one or two, did either Incognito or one of the criminal minis. I know About
Okay.
Staples, I think, did a criminal mini as well. So yeah, there's a lot. This was kind of the recap. Yeah, those sketches are really cool. This was
Yeah.
after Ruse. This is after Ruse. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's had a
Ruse was like
couple.
Ruse was like 2002 or three.
Yeah, this was
Ruse, by the way, was a cross-gen
20
comic written by Mark Waid.
2018, 2019. This was out.
Yeah.
Butch Guys. So there it is. Look at that.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Look how fuzzy. Looks
It's
good.
that would have been. Listen,
You can always count on me to
Pullman.
have a blurry concept art
That's right.
in the
No, this looks
news.
great. I wish it would have happened. I love Stephen Young. Like I love him a lot. Like I love Beef. I love Walking Dead. He's great on Invincible.
Why
He's a
couldn't he
great
do this?
actor. Timing, just timing.
What was he doing? What's he doing?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess just another project that
yeah, it's a bummer because basically it was the director of Beef did Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts I want to say I give it a B. I give it a B.
I give it a B plus. Plus, my
Yeah,
daughters were really locked in, and that says a lot because they're like their opinions mean a lot to me when it comes to these movies because they're not me. They're not me
they're
having
not
read
you, Rob.
100,000 comics and seen everything, and
Right.
I've watched every episode of Smallville, so I've seen I've seen everything. Spider-Man from the 70s, the Doctor Strange 70s movie.
Mhm.
You know, there's holes. I definitely have holes. Like I've never watched the Superboy 17 show.
Oh yeah,
Channel 17 was a local
that was
Philadelphia.
rough looking.
That's what
Yeah.
ended up being bought out by the WB and then became the CW.
Hmm.
So it's only like a funny coincidence that 17, the WPHL
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That
local.
that show's no good. And then
It's all kinds, dude.
my secret identity
You'll
also.
never guess my secret identity.
And who was contracted? So you just had comics on the wall. I would watch it because I had comics on the wall. There's tons of comics just given.
Yeah, man. That
And
was
then they would talk about the comic book. They would be like, I need to be like that. It was. I wonder if
dude.
that's any good now.
Well, my secret identity, Jerry
Yeah.
O'Connell. He could fly, but he couldn't propel himself. So he would have these two spray cans to kind of direct him.
Right. Yeah. It's goofy.
The funniest mention of comics was the first episode of Malcolm in the Middle. Did you watch Malcolm in the Middle?
I watched the first couple episodes. I know
Okay.
they mentioned Savage Dragon in the first
They
episode.
go. Malcolm's over his friend's house, and he's like, "Oh my God, you got Youngblood #1. That's so valuable." And then he's like, "Savage Dragon, this is great. This is where he gets ripped in half." And I'm like, Savage Dragon didn't get ripped in half by that point. Like,
Right, right, right.
that was just funny in the show. Like, when you're an expert in something and you see that thing show up, you're like, you just double down. Like, if a UPS truck
Right,
shows up, I'm like, that's not right. He's not doing that right. That's not
right,
the
right, right.
real, you
Is it,
know,
on King of Queens, was that UPS or
just a brown company.
just a brown company?
But meanwhile, I get comparisons to him. Oh, you look like dog. Are you dog? Like,
Yeah, so
yep, ha
funny.
ha
How
ha.
original. Fuck
Uh,
you. Yeah, I think
the
that
show's been off
like
the air for like 15 years.
I know, right? Well, Big Bang Theory, I think like did comic book stores okay because basically they were given stuff by DC gave a bunch of stuff, Dark Horse gave a bunch of stuff. They mentioned Hellboy. Hellboy would be around on a lot of shit,
Yeah,
but I feel like it got lazy, and then they would just do like you live in your mom's basement, like shit, like, and that's just so lazy. Like to me, that's like the lazy shit.
right,
Whereas
right.
before, I feel like they would make good comic references, and then they would be almost current with some of their
I remember hearing that.
references. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You never
Everyone,
watched that show?
no, everyone
Wow,
told me to
that's weird.
watch it, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what's funny? I love comedy shows, but like sitcoms always like just bored me. There was
Yeah.
a point, you know what happened, Mark? TGI Fridays ruined me for sitcoms for years. Like, I just at one point I was like 12 or 13. I'm like, this is all garbage. Like Full House and Family Matters and just the 10 of us. Even though
I thought you meant like I was like, what? You went to TGI
the
Fridays, the
restaurant.
restaurant?
No, oh, thank God it's funny. Or thank that's what
Yeah, it was
that's what they
TGIF. Yeah, but I was like, what? You just went to the restaurant? You're like,
the
I would watch a
restaurant.
sitcom, but I would rather go to a restaurant and
No, no,
have
no.
some mozzarella sticks.
The
Mozzarella.
ABC tagline in the late 80s. I'm like, I was watching.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. That's when like I got realized like, oh, this laugh track sucks. Nothing's funny.
yeah,
And
yeah. Full House not
I just
funny.
hated sitcoms. So I
Yeah.
didn't start watching sitcoms again until like the Norm Show. And then it was like,
I
all right,
love.
well, I'll watch a little Drew Carey or, sometimes I'll
Oh
watch
man, I saw a
Seinfeld.
clip of the Norm show where he went to like an Alcoholics Anonymous something. Oh my god,
It's so
it's so uncomfortable.
it's so funny that
Oh,
show, dude.
is there and someone had a so I guess I'm on a Norm some type of Norm something or other. Is there a copy of Dirty Work like the R-rated version of that? There's a
Oh,
rough cut of that. There is an R-rated cut of that,
that's funny.
which would have been something, you know what I mean? But that's again lost media. I don't know.
He didn't know Artie Lang till Artie Lang got casted in that movie. And then they
Funny.
became like best friends after that.
I always
Like they
think
didn't
Artie
know.
Lang is with him by the pool in Billy Madison, but that's not Artie Lang.
No, it's another friend.
It's another fat guy, you know. So
Hey, what day is it? October?
that's
That
great.
that movie is
Wasn't he really
so
drunk on that set? Wasn't didn't he say like I'm supposed to play drunk, so I'm drunk? I
I
think
don't know.
that's the real thing. I think he got drunk when he wasn't supposed to, and then they had to have him go to set, and he was like really drunk. So the couple scenes in there, he's like actually super drunk. So, but to go to just to run back to
So
Thunderbolts real
to
fast,
spiral
kind of like
back
the
here.
pacing. Yeah, the
Um,
pacing of it. I mean, to me, I like
Pullman. What's
you know
Pullman's first name?
Philip Pullman.
Is it Philip Pullman?
Do you
I think
know
he did a great job.
he asked to not be called Bob? And then the director Jake Schreier is like, no, it's in the comics. We can't change that because he was Bob in Top Gun. He's like, I just played Bob. I just played a Bob,
I get it. I get
and
it.
he's not necessarily the same character, but that's Bill Pullman's son. Um, and
Bill Pullman's son
yeah.
from
So
Independence Day. I had to.
he's pretty solid in it. He's pretty solid. I feel like I would have liked to have had 10 more minutes of this movie. I feel like they're rushing around. I feel like I understand. Look, I understand the action set pieces and stuff. I feel like if I could have another 10 minutes, and that's so funny because I feel like we go the opposite most of the time. I think
Yeah,
it was a tight like hour 48 or something. So it's funny. Like if it goes to 2:20, it's not good. Hour 48 is pretty tight. That's pretty good. You know,
yeah.
but I feel like it should have been 2:05. Give me a
The, the
2:05.
the character interaction I think was so like you just really end up liking these characters. I like Ghost finally. I never like Ghost was just like
Um,
nothing to me. And they
look,
they
it's a ragtag. We love the ragtag.
we
But see,
do.
it's the thing is, I think it's really funny, and it's actually not that different from what happened in the comics. It's not that different of having this new Avengers team. It's not that different. It's Stark Avengers. Like
Mm,
it's not. And I think the reveal of them is actually really funny.
yeah.
I think it's really well done. So, spoilers, if you don't know this, the Asterix, which everyone kind of knew is the worst kept secret, is that I didn't know if they were going to call it Dark Avengers, New Avengers. They
Yeah,
call them
it
the
was
New
always yeah,
Avengers.
it was a coin flip.
But a cool ending that, after it goes to a press conference and they just have Thunderbolts and then it turns into that logo. It was a good reveal. And then they had a pretty quick mid credit, which is a callback of on the Wheaties box. So I guess you have to contract. I guess if you have a Wheaties reference, you have to ask them if you can say that.
They
I
have a
guess.
Wheaties box set up outside the movie theater, and I
Oh,
took a
really?
picture of my
Okay.
daughter standing next to the Wheaties box. It's pretty
Oh,
funny.
nice. Okay. I mean, the marketing I think is pretty interesting because again, like we saw, the Regal was giving out, you know, uh, trading card packs with gum. If that's real, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's fun. You know.
that would have been awesome. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't think they had anything at Cinemark. Usually they got
Um.
posters or something.
Now, yeah, they have it was weird. They have a Red Guardian. I think they have like a Red Guardian like cup that has a helmet, and then they also have they have his limousine, which is like the same. I guess it's the Optimus Prime that they had for Transformers One. It's just like this
Okay.
long fucking thing, barely has popcorn in it. Then they have a tin. I saw a tin, and I'm like, but what's funny about the tin is I think I got one of the Star Wars tins. The tin they give to you, and they're like, and then they give you a container of popcorn because all over the tin it's like, don't eat popcorn out of this.
Yeah, it's
Like it's
made out
like
of lead,
don't eat out of this. This is not a container to eat out
lead
of. Like,
metal,
but
lead
that's what
paint.
it is. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they should have some type of plastic interior or something, like a washable, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Um,
So Stephen Young as Sentry would have awesome, but Pullman did a good job.
yeah, I think this being like a straight Yelena movie was pretty great. Like, I'm not tired of her. Like, she's
No,
so good throughout the movie. She's so
she's very
good.
watchable. She's very
Um,
enjoyable.
and Harbor's just a fucking master. He's a master of like turning it. It's just like turning it up. And I just think I just think I always kind of underestimate, like, oh, he's okay, but he's fucking great. John Walker. Did you the scene he got really mad at? I think that was really fun. He got really mad really fast when like that. I think Yelena was missing the marker. She wasn't there, and he's like, like he got like
Yeah.
real
Oh yeah,
upset.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if that. And I read somewhere that like the director wanted them to have a certain agency of their own character, and like kind of come up with some stuff as long as you don't change your name. Can't change your name, Bob. Like that's it. And even at the end when it says like the Thunderbolts or New Avengers will return, and Bob, like I think it's kind of neat that they have him in this like separate section. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure
Like
what
the
was going on, having like the cloak verse, like the void verse a little bit. I wasn't sure, but it wasn't. It didn't take me too far out. They would have these little mini flashbacks in the middle of it. I'm like, that's a good way to do it. Even Valentina, not Montaigne, whatever the fuck,
yeah.
Elaine from Seinfeld, which I thought she would be more annoying, and then she wasn't. You know who was not good? I think the assistant wasn't good. She's fine, but she was one note through the whole fucking movie. You know who was supposed to be that character, and she got stuck with some other scheduling.
Who?
Supposed to be Ayo Debris was cast
Who was
initially.
that?
She's on the Bear. She's Sydney on the Bear.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
yeah, that would have been a little better because I feel like she would turn it up and down.
yes.
Um, Speaking of which, because she had a great, Ayo Debris had a great SNL. Did you watch SNL yet? That was
Last night's?
Quinta
Nah.
Brunson. Yeah, it's her second. She's good too, man. She's so good. She's really funny. She really flocks to that sketch really well.
All
Both
right.
of them are on. And actually what's funny is, and they kind of know each other in real life, IRL, and that's her sister or cousin. She's zoomed in on that. So if you watch Abbott Elementary, and when Quinta Brunson's character talks to her, I think it's either her sister or a really close cousin or something like that, and then they zoom, it's literally Io Debris as her
That's
cousin or
funny.
sister. Yeah. So, but yeah, that would be a cool. They should do a comedy together. I tried to watch. Anyway, I don't want to tangent off. So,
You
yeah,
don't?
Ghost.
Have you not watched this show?
What the?
There were nothing but tangents.
I know, right? But yeah, Ghost was better than I expected. I like that she just kept disappearing and then showing up when she needed to show up.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for John Walker to have that shitty fucking shield, and then it was like torn. It was just bent in
Bent in
half.
half like a taco.
It was horrible. I felt so
Well,
bad.
you know what? I hope he gets a new. He should get an adamantium shield because that's what he had in the comics.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Captain America's shield in the comics is an alloy of adamantium and vibranium. That's what they
Right.
always said. And then somebody pointed out, well, this adamantium wasn't really invented until the 50s. So Cap's shield couldn't be an alloy. And then someone's like, well, it's like proto adamantium mixed with vibranium, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
who
his
cares?
shield was never pure vibranium
Right,
because vibranium absorbs vibrations and it wouldn't bounce if it absorbed vibrations.
right.
It would, absorb, but it wouldn't. So, I
Now,
mean, that's why it's always been a hybrid and alloy.
yeah, now I watched a recap of on Screen Crush of Thunderbolts, and I kind of forgot the end of Falcon, the Falcat movie, right?
Right?
He says he's making an Avengers team.
Yes.
So that's kind of crazy. So that's like, what's he doing? Also,
Who's
I
on
don't,
that team?
there was a podcast this week where Jeremy Renner, I don't know if he's promoting something. He made the rounds. He was on
Oh, I heard
Rogan.
this. Yeah.
They wanted to pay him for Hawkeye season 2. They call him and they wanted to pay him half. And he's like, no, thank you. Like, he's like, no, that's okay. And
But what did he say, Mark? He goes, what? Because I got run over by a tractor, I deserve half as
oh
much?
my God. Yeah, I know, right? Like, Jesus Christ. And first off, like, if you watch the Rogan interview, he goes through his entire, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like an hour long story. It's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that he's like put back together, and like the resilience and the mental willpower of that fucking guy is really something.
I really enjoyed that first season of Hawkeye.
He's
Like,
making.
like
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
dealing with like his hearing loss, dealing with aches and pains. He's a normal human in a
Right.
superhero world. Like, all that stuff was really good.
I think some of it was good. I think it was too. And now that Yelena is in Thunderbolts, all they keep doing is putting up clips of her and Haley Steinfeld because they're in the number one, number two movie, right? They're in
That's funny.
Sinners, so
Yeah.
they're on it. Um, but the whole thing with Renner, yeah, but that quote was so funny, man. He's like, "You can pay me half." Jesus God. Oh, so
Yeah,
what do you
don't
what?
don't cheap out on your talent, man.
So the crazy thing about Renner is that, and I think it was it Film Threat? Film Threat. Chris Gore was talking about this because he's met him in real life, and he said that he's like the normalest fucking guy ever. That one of the
Cool.
things that he wants to do, Renner, and he says
I
one
know
of the
I
things
said
that
cool, not who.
that the one thing that Renner wants to do is he made a facility for rehab in his house, and he's going to open it up to people who are trying to walk. Like it's going to be open for people to use that facility. Like he's going to like make the facility like open to the public and physicians and shit to just use because he has like certain treadmills. He has special things that he put in there to get better. It's crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. Um,
Wasn't there a rumor for a minute that Brad Pitt was going to be Sentry or Hyperion? Like they've always thrown that Brad Pitt.
uh,
Like they've.
Now I thought for Hyperion, I thought I heard Cavill for a long time.
I heard that too.
I feel
Well,
like that's
Pitt
the
was
thing.
originally almost cast as Cable in Deadpool 2. Like they have art design of Brad Pitt as Cable.
Yeah, but this is no different than that. That's no different than just like they're
No,
coming
no,
up with
no.
the
You're right.
concept art. Yeah.
It's an agreement, and then they do it, and then schedules don't line up or whatever. But I just find that funny because the other thing I heard from a really good source was that David Harbour was like this close to being Cable.
Mm.
But like Josh Brolin, I'm glad he got it because he just loves the part. Like he loves Cable. Like he wants to come back as Cable. I think more
Yeah,
so than Thanos. Like yeah, bring me back as Cable.
I'm fine with Harbor being Red Guardian. I think Red Guardian's a good foil. Like Red Guardian's not that in the comics. He's just kind of another, you know.
No, you got to create a better. Like when you bring some of these characters don't have the personality in the comics, or they're not. I don't know. I'm not
Uh,
trying to ever knock the comics,
yeah.
but like Red
Apparently,
Guardian's not an important character in the
the
comics.
character that the guy from The Wire, the guy says shit all the time. She like that guy,
Uh huh.
Wendell Pierce, who's going to be Perry White in like 2 months. Wendell Pierce, that character is a real character that was in Fear Itself. It was like a, Thunderbolts
Uh huh.
Fear Itself miniseries #1. That character is a real character too, but he has some type of powers. He actually has powers. So I don't know if they're going to do that, if they're going to if Wendell Pierce is going to be in it. I mean, listen, like we need, we need a shield-ish person. So Elaine from Seinfeld has been, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's been on every promotional thing. So I think she's in it. She's into it. Like it's kind of, you don't have. I feel like Harrison Ford. I don't know. Did you see that clip of Harrison Ford? where they ask him, they're like, "Hey, it's got to, you be. It seems ridiculous. There's got to be a lot of behind the scenes footage. Do you ever feel stupid?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude. That's what the fucking money's for." Like he just like goes straight up, like Harrison Ford don't give a shit. He's like that kind of makes it go away. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ted,
Like that's
I think I don't know if it's Pete Holmes always quotes Ted Danson like somebody who quotes Ted Danson. Ted Danson's like, yeah, this is so humiliating. This is embarrassing. Every time you act, it's embarrassing because you look and feel stupid like in front of a camera.
yeah.
Like it's amazing stuff turns
We
out as
do it
good as it
anyway.
does.
We do it voluntarily
Yeah.
without getting paid. You know, for now. But anyway, so yeah, Thunderbolts. I give a solid B. I thought the ending was good. I think that the teamwork's good. It's a framework. It's not that different than Guardians One. Like it's a certain framework in, you know. I do like that. I did like that. Basically, it didn't feel like that there wasn't stakes, but I knew at a certain point like everyone's going to come back to life, just like that. You know what I mean? It felt when he I mean, listen, they had the Red Guardian at the end or close to the end, and he's giving the little girl like a flower, and then she dies, and then it just
Yeah,
falls.
that
And I was
was
like, oof, like that's a cool thing. But
it
then,
hits you for a minute and then you're like
yeah,
once Yelena goes into it, you're like, okay,
yeah.
everyone's fine.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, listen, man, for a depressive person, like it's kind of great to watch a movie of like a bunch of depressive people as superheroes.
Yeah.
Also, did you catch the line where Bucky's like, he's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, because Bucky already went through. Have, we should watch Thunderbolts and we should edit it, right? And we should just put up like, this is from here. This is from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, he's saying this because he got therapy here.
Yeah.
John's saying this because he got this here. Like, I mean, I feel like
Did
they're
you hear John
pretty
Walker
good.
when he was smashing his shield into the electrical box to bring down the sound barrier?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, on your left.
Yeah. I feel like there should be. I do like him talking to Bucky. He's like, we've done this. Like this is how it goes.
Yeah.
And I like how I think he was great. I thought he was excellent.
I
So
loved him. And he got, yes, and again, I go to the touchdown of my daughters. They said, oh yeah, we like US agent now. We hated him. I'm like, you're supposed to hate him.
yeah,
In Falcon Winter
you're
Soldier, you're
supposed to
not
take care of your kids.
sorry. They're your kids.
They're your
Yeah,
kids.
they did not like him. And then through this movie, they're like, yeah, we like all these characters.
Do you
Um,
think that the killing
since
of Taskmaster right off was like just like okay,
we knew it.
we did
Everyone knew
know
it.
it. We did know it, but like
We figured it
not
was going to
even
happen.
like Suicide Squad at a second. Like I mean,
No.
like not even like a
You didn't get a chance to care about her.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah, she doesn't even make like Thunderbird levels of
Now,
acceptance.
are we even
Before.
sure that she was even in the movie?
Here's what brings, and my friend's gonna love this because we talk about this. She's Taskmaster, but they say she has the Taskmaster protocol in her.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So my hope is there's a real Taskmaster, skull face mask,
Mhm.
hood, cape. I want real Taskmaster. Give me that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you get the walk. She does some like of
She does
walk,
some
and
of it.
it's yeah, she does some of it where it's from other stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Is that like that's when I think like we should have our own cuts of stuff. Yeah, we should release these films and then just kind of reference what shit's from,
Yeah.
like an editor's note. We're the editors. We're the editor's note. So
Now, since we're just spoiling everything anyway,
yeah.
because we just spoiled this whole movie.
Mhm.
There's in the credits they say something, and my friend caught on. He's like, "Oh, don't watch the credits because they spoil the end credit scene."
Right.
And I'm
right.
like, "All right, well, I'm not going to look at the actors in case
Don't
it
watch.
says
I
like
didn't understand what you were saying earlier. Don't watch the actual credits at the scroll.
yes," because I
Right.
thought maybe it was going to say like Chris Evans or something. Like I was being prepared for whatever that end credit scene was going to be.
Right.
And my daughters, none of us watched it. And at 1 second, my daughters both watched it, and it said score from Fantastic Four by so and so, and they're like, "No!" And they look at each other, and I'm like, "What?" Like we just looked at the credits at the exact wrong time. So of
Right.
course, the end credit scene is, they're all like, "Oh, there's an interdimensional ship." They're like, "What?" And then you see the Fantastic Four shuttle fly across the screen,
Right.
and you're like, "What?" So they're just building up to the FF movie, which we all think is going to be fantastic. But the point is,
Fantastic.
they
Say that
credit
again.
it. They
What'd you
credited
say?
that music.
Yeah, the Michael Giacchino
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. Now the whole thing with that though, like, see, that's what's funny about like credits because I feel like with the CW shows or even I think Ted Lasso I think had it too where they would have some of the stuff and then they would say guest star or
Yeah, it would be in the intro,
yeah
and every time
it
I
would
would see
be
that,
Anthony Head. I'm like okay so Rupert's showing up. You know what I mean? I would be like okay. So I don't
I
like
hated
that.
that. CW
Yeah
shows with Flash would be like John Wesley Shipp. I'm like, no, I don't want to see John Wesley Shipp's name.
yeah
Let me
right
be surprised when whatever character John Wesley Shipp is this episode, whether
right.
it's Golden Age Flash, his dad, or Flash from
1989
1990.
Flash,
Yeah,
1990 Flash. Yeah,
ugh, which is my favorite.
it's your favorite.
I love John Wesley Shipp.
That
So
I would be curious how good if that holds up. That like TV movie, their pilot. You know the pilot.
I will tell you, it holds up pretty good because I watched
Yeah.
the whole series like 5 or 10 years ago. I
Mm.
bought the DVD set and I watched it all, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of dig all this. It's as
Wi-
good as you were going to get for a 90s TV show. And by the way, it was the second most expensive TV show on air at the time, only following Star Trek The Next Generation as the most expensive.
Yeah, and I
But
imagine that Star Trek just made a lot of money off of syndication and stuff. I think that was syndication and repeats. You know.
yeah, I love that Flash costume. It was great. It was a great show.
So to kind of go back to the Renner stuff real quick,
Yeah,
when streaming first started, they may not be underpaying him. Just to be clear, what the theory of it that I think Chris Gore was saying in or no, I think Alan was talking about it on Film Threat, their video like kind of magazines live stream and stuff. He was saying that everyone when streaming started, they just thought it was the future and they were paying everyone a ton of fucking money. Now that they've lost a bunch of money because we can go outside now, we can go to the movies, we can throw our popcorn. You know what I mean? Like we can, chicken jockey. Like we because now we are back out in the world, less people are streaming stuff. That's why they keep trying to retool. That's why Disney Plus looks like completely fucking different. If you look at
yeah.
Disney Plus now, Disney Plus, like you can kind of just throw on accidentally. I think you can put child protections in there, but if you go on my Disney Plus, it just looks like Hulu. And I'm like,
Yes.
why do I have Hulu? You know what I mean? Like, so it's a little confusing on, and I think I have a combo anyway, but that doesn't have an identity. Netflix still has a pretty solid identity. They just have the algorithm right.
Yeah.
Max doesn't. Max still does not. Max is still a nightmare. Um,
Thought Princess.
I think that yeah, I think that the Netflix still has the best model. So they could be calling him and they could have just that's the budget. But if you don't talk to him right, if you don't explain it or and maybe he just doesn't care. He's like, look, it ain't worth my time. You know what I mean? I'm
Listen,
sure
that's a
that
lot of work. He's got to get back in shape.
yeah,
He's got to make his arms look good. It's not an easy show to do.
he's got to
It's
do a
very
crazy fucking Ronin haircut.
right.
You know, that haircut's no good. That's a no good. I should get that haircut. I should do
Why
that.
not?
I should do it. So, all right. Anyway, so that's our review. So I would say, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's. Oh, and the post credit scene with the Fantastic Four thingy, and and they make mention of. I want him to have. We don't have a Captain America, so U.S. Agent is our Captain America,
Right now.
but I don't want him to not have his. They talk about it. They make a joke about that, and I feel like that's the only thing I don't like about the movie is that they kind of make jokes about some of their stuff. And then later on, like it has to be a thing. The Wheaties box has to be a thing. Like the costume has to be a certain way. And you like your hat? You like you like your helmet? He's like, yeah, I do like my helmet. And then now he's wearing like a beret at the end. I'm like, what?
I thought you would have loved that.
I do love it. Well, it was not the '90s. You know what I mean? In the '90s, I would wear a beret because I'm so French. Like
My my friend Chris was like, "Would it be cool if they became like the West Coast Avengers?" I said, "Well, Johnny Walker was on the West Coast Avengers,
yeah,
and we are getting White
correct.
Vision with Vision Quest." I'm like, "Ooh,
Oh yeah, that's right.
give me that John Byrne West Coast Avengers lineup.
You know,
Give me
I
Golden Age Human Torch, please." God,
I wonder if Chris Pratt's going to be on that show. I wonder if he's going to kind of pop on that show.
what on Vision Quest?
Yeah, because
Well,
there's
he's in that art.
yeah, he's
He's in
on the
the
couch with him. Because remember, he's just talking about mowing the fucking lawn.
yeah, he's home. He's
He's
with his
home.
grandpop. You know,
Right. Such a weird thing. You had such an opportunity to just kill a bunch of those fuckers off. I know that Dave Bautista wanted to get kind of killed off. Like he's like, don't just kill me. Like just I don't want to. I'm not doing this again.
I was so prepared to cry, and because Rocket was going to die, or
Yeah,
we all thought Drax was going to die because he's out,
sure. Yeah.
but they didn't kill anyone.
No,
So
bad move. Kill everybody.
I don't. No, it's not a bad move.
Kill
He
them
doesn't.
all.
No, because they half of those people don't work outside of Marvel.
Yeah.
You know. So
I don't know. You can
I
just
don't know.
plop them out. Plop it out of them fucking mics. Kill them all. Just like any of the shit. Just like
No,
any of
you
the
know what? No
fucking
more killing
comics.
characters because you need these characters are all supposed to be evergreen.
Yeah,
And
it's
even though
diminishing
we don't want to
returns.
see a reboot, but at some point Marvel, I hope Marvel's the first company, and they kind of have to never reboot. Like just keep
Mhm.
if someone gets too old, you recast. But we don't mind old actors. Or if you got to do a storyline, let's say Chris Evans, like, I'll come back and do another 10 years of Captain America stuff. Let me weave it in and out.
Yeah.
That's great. Because Marvel didn't go out and immediately recast Captain America.
Yeah, but then you're stuck in a Hugh Jackman situation. You know what I mean? I think we're stuck where it's so indelible to us that we don't know if we can do it. You know,
It's fine until it's not fine.
Mm.
You know, I mean,
Well,
or you get a Spider-Man situation where you get three different people within 10 years, and
right. And then you
then we
make a
get to
movie with
enjoy all
them.
three of them.
There's a story. I think I have it in here, but while we're kind of in this, I'll skip over it. Did you see that Ryan? There's a I think it's a Planet article, either Deadline or I think it was Deadline. They put it out that Ryan Reynolds is writing like an Avengers like Deadpool team up movie.
X-Men.
X Men, is it X Men?
Yes, X-Men.
So I don't think it's real. I feel like that's a fake story. I feel like they need to get, and I didn't watch it, but apparently Blake Lively was on Seth Meyers, and then Seth Meyers makes some offhanded reference to the lawsuits,
Yeah.
and then she doubles down on like, yeah, that guy sucks. Like she tripled down on it, and then he just kind of doesn't answer any. He doesn't ask any hard questions, no nothing. Just kind of goes along with it. He's like, okay, well, let's try to bring it back. He kept trying to just kind of bring it back, but I want to watch it because I'm curious. I think they're insane, and I dislike the Deadpool Wolverine movie, which I was a big fan of. But the one scene that didn't work for me was like the Nice Pools concept. And now that I know it's like literally a vindictive thing, I like Ryan Reynolds much less, much less. So because
Mm.
that every weird story that I heard about him, including the T.J. Miller story, is 100% true. Is 1,000,000% true. I also think it's really weird that neither one of them have been in like in A plus shit, and they're now our A plus couple. How? They're A list. How? Just by declaring it? It's weird. You know what I
They're
mean? What's
just,
her
it's
What's her
just,
movie?
yeah, I don't know.
And she
She
and now that I know that she has to be like fucking like she has to have her own stylist and being so crazy and like it just seems like she's a big pain in the ass. Like so I don't know. It makes me
I
like
don't
it
know.
less.
I'm
And
not in that
also,
world.
didn't wasn't he with ScarJo at the time when they made Green Lantern? And she basically, Mr. and Mrs. Smith it, sort of, right? Because
Probably.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt didn't get together. Then a year later they were together. Yeah, right. They never did nothing. Never did
Right, right.
nothing on that
You know how
set.
crazy it is to be on set with someone for that long. I did some theater, and
You did
it's
stage
like
plays.
I did stage play, and
It's over, Johnny.
it happens, dude.
Over. It's over. You know what I mean?
I can't even tell the story I was about to tell.
Let's move on to Superman coins. Superman. I don't know if you saw this. It's really
I love that
weird.
you say Superman, and it's like here's
Superman.
5 Batman coins.
Wow. Yeah. It started off. They're $50. These are real. They're going to be made in Philadelphia. I'm pointing to Philadelphia.
Okay, are they silver?
They're real current. It's real currency.
Okay,
And they're literally like
okay. So
gold.
24 karat gold coins.
Yeah.
How much are they?
I think these are all $50 to start, but then they're going to be
Mm,
limited, and then whatever gold goes plus minus. So this is kind of neat because this is kind of like coins in general, but meeting our shit. You know what I mean? Like there are still coin collectors out there. You know, you got some shit. You know what I have? I have some
you
stamps.
you see me look, and
I
I'm
see.
like,
Look, you got some. He's got something. It's so funny. Like we're so close. Like I literally have like
hold on.
my bicentennial battles like Treasury Edition like close by. You know what I mean? It's so funny what we have like close
Oh, you
by.
know what? I think I put them in a safe when we went on vacation.
Like
Uh,
my dad got me this. I have my marble cards in a binder. He got it at like a yard sale close by, right here,
yeah,
baby.
I have two Superman coins, silver, pure silver. One's from Canada, one's from America from like the late '90s. Most silver coins have about $25 worth of silver in it.
Mm,
So when I see $50, I'm like, all right, it's whatever. But I
yeah.
want, Mark, and I want this, and I think it's valuable, sadly, is the 50th anniversary Superman silver coin that came out on his 50th anniversary in 1988.
Mm,
That's the coin I don't have. That's the coin that was like advertised in comics.
okay.
But I think it's like 100, 150 last time I looked. So it's $25 worth of silver. It's like
Okay.
when people find like a gold doubloon. By the way, somebody found a friend of a friend found one, like I think off Cape May or something. They're a
Oh,
metal
okay.
collector, metal, they go around with the metal detectors. Spanish. There's about $10 trillion worth of sunken ships full of silver and gold. One out of every 10 ships that went from South America to America to mostly to Spain, one out of 10 sunk. So there's just trillions of dollars sitting on the bottom of the ocean of silver.
Mm,
So anyway, so a gold doubloon, let's say if it's $2,000, I think an ounce of gold right now is worth like $3,000. So
mm.
that's why a 1 ounce gold coin would be worth $3,000. But the value of the historicalness makes it like $10,000 per coin or something. It's
Oh,
really
I see.
it's
Right,
fun.
right, right. Right.
But like if you found one, let's say you go down in the Caribbean and you could find one, it's almost impossible to bring that home. Like if you mail stuff out of there, they like put it through metal detectors. You can't walk it through like an airport. Like it's just really hard to. And it's
That's really weird.
yours. You found it. I know.
Right,
It's
right.
just anyway. But these are awesome. I like silver coins a lot. I
Yeah.
This makes me want to double down and go find the 1988 Superman coin.
Yeah, these look good. That Superman looks great. I think that Superman looks
No,
really
that's
good.
just really good coin. 2025. I
Oh,
like
the
it.
belly button.
$50. What is it? Gold? Is it just gold plated?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna look into it though. I dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Dig
She can dig it. He can dig it. We can dig it.
it. I guess this is confusing because, like, yeah, says that LeDron's final fifth issue of Hip Flask is coming out. It's also really weird. I took some pictures of this. So Richard Stark and Company, which is what Comic Craft Publishing, or
Right. The
and that was
lettering
on
company,
Image.
Comicraft. And then he went and he's a pretty good writer, and he had this Hip Flash comic that I think he only created for like advertising reasons.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
fact, do you remember back during the Awesome Comic days, he was doing a lot of the Awesome books, not Supreme because that was Todd Klein. He would do, and he would get the Awesome artists to draw ads for him: Stephen Platt, Ian Churchill,
yeah. I remember Ian Churchill one very
Joe
clearly.
Mad, and they were all colored by Liquid, so they all looked really good. And then he did a Hip Flash comic. I think that was partially drawn by Ian Churchill, just like a
Yeah, it was either in it was in one of it might have been the Comic Craft Guide to Lettering. There might I think there was four or
something
five
like that.
pages. I have that.
And then for some
Brian Ball
reason,
and
he
Company.
got Joe Casey and Jose Ladron to do this comic. And it's like Jose Ladron doing his best humanoids, Jaworski, like the coloring, like it's
Yeah.
just a beautiful book. And I think they do a one shot, and then they followed up with like a 3 issue series.
Yeah, they have Unnatural Selection, which is a one shot, and also at I'm trying to think what store I got that at. I got a hardcover. They did an oversized hardcover of that, like kind of like a edition that was in,
Yeah,
I bought that for like $4, $3, something like that. I bought it really, really cheap, and it's just the first issue. Um, but the actual Elephant Men comic book went for like 75 issues.
and
Like
it's
it,
I've read about 30 of them because I was really into it for a while.
yeah,
I just never
it
finished
feels
it.
like heavy metal. Like it feels it's very British, but like the people he gets Axel Mendelin
Marion
and Boo
Churchland,
Cook.
Boo, Cook, yeah, they're really good. He gets really good artists. So like the idea of this last story, bringing back Ladron.
But
We talk about Ladron on this podcast on a pretty regular basis.
yeah, but this is confusing to me because it says episode 3 of 3, but I'm just like, what? So Unnatural was technically well, that's its own one shot, but this
Dude,
is issue 3. I think it says it's the long lost fifth issue. I'm like, fifth issue? Like, I'm confused at
by
how
the
they're going
way,
to publish this.
it's confusing to try to read them all because I try to have them
Yeah.
all. And like, I think he did exclusive stuff for like Comixology, but
Hmm.
also the numbering's weird on his own book. And then when he collects them, he leaves stuff out, like of the hardcovers. And
No. Yeah,
it, no, it,
he has trades.
and
Uh,
they're not perfect. They're not good enough for me.
yeah.
I
Rob
don't
has
know.
a very specific way to do it,
I focus
which
on, I was talking to my wife about this, about like how I hyper focus on something and I can just drown out the rest of the world. Like we're on this podcast, and if the say my daughter start fighting or something, I like am really good at zoning it out.
right.
Probably because I know she's here.
Bad Rob.
Good for the podcast. Bad for
Good,
dad. Bad dad.
good. Bad dad. Hashtag bad
No,
dad.
call me Bad Rob. I'll be like the new Liefeld character, Bad Rob.
Yeah. What's weird
Yabba
about
dabba
this
doom.
is that I feel like this is the new Ladron art, but I feel like this looks like Axel Medellin. It looks like it's weird. It's like it's not. It feels like less special. Once I looked at the preview art, I'm just like, I feel like this is someone doing.
Is that the Ladron pages?
Yeah, these are the new Ladron pages, and it's
Hmm.
called Hip Flask 5. So I'm very confused at like what the
Doesn't
issues were.
doesn't really look like
No,
him.
no, it's weird. And also their Kickstarter is a little strange. The Kickstarter has different. This I thought was pretty cool, but this is $150 add-on. It's $150 add-on, right? So I think it's awesome, but the add-ons were kind of weird. And then this, I don't know if this was a real book that was out already. And then when I looked it through some of this, like this is what I think came out. See the like
I
I'm so
know.
confused at
It's
like
so
what and then when I looked this up, it says issue sets limited quantity, and then it says digital sets available. When I went in to just see if I could back it,
yeah.
this is not over there. This is not an add-on right now. So if they did have limited edition sets, that they're already gone. But normally they put sold out. Normally they'll say like, "Hey, you lost out," because that gives you a bit more of a onus on demand. You're like, I better order this fucking thing. So
The
I'm
best
very
thing about
confused with
digital
this.
comics is they don't sell out.
Yeah. So it's a little confusing on, and because I think the book it's weirdly priced. You can get the new book, which is 56 pages. It's like $8 digital. All right. And then
All
I
right.
think and then I think it's like $20 for a digital. You get a digital download PDF
And the comic.
and a comic physical. And then they have like 5 different covers, and so it's
Sometimes I prefer the digital, but sometimes I'll buy the paper and the digital to get because the digital is usually like free if you buy the paper, and then I'll like just sell the paper. I don't know. It's
but
very I'm
but
very
when
strange.
what we want. I'm going to speak for you here. Is what
That's
what
fine.
we want is it seems like it's getting less. So I don't even know what this unnatural selection. I feel like this was the first one, right? I'm so confused with
But I
this.
think the first one almost takes, and I could be totally wrong here. Maybe it takes place after that series, or in the middle of it.
Yeah, I
And
don't
like I
know.
said, the collections aren't clear at all. I'm not an expert on this stuff. Like I
Because he
was
puts
in
it
the
in
beginning,
storytelling. He puts it in storyline. He puts it
right?
chronologically, partially, I think. Because
Partially.
I think you're right. Because I think when I looked at one of they has like almost like it's like they're pretty thick trades. They're about probably 30, $40. They're heavy through Image. I think you're right because like the first story, I'm expecting it to be a Ladron story. And it's not. It's either an Axel Midland or a Boo Cook story, and I'm like, what? So it's confusing on
But we
how you're
love this
supposed to read
stuff.
it.
Like I want this stuff, and I want to promote this stuff. I love promoting Kickstarters and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like these guys are working hard, and the return on comics is so small.
Well,
Kickstarter's your best
yeah.
bet nowadays.
Well, Ladron is kind of a mystery because what happens essentially he does his he did the Spider Boy team up, then to
We
Cable, then he
Cable
did a
first, actually.
he did a Fantastic Four
Annual.
annual, and then
Yep.
he did, and I got it. He does a backup in a Thor annual, but that's his Inhuman style. That's this style. That's the
Yeah.
painted style he does
Right.
in this one.
That's the
So the
humanoids
Thor
style.
one, yeah, the Thor annual, which is it just has the backup by him.
Hmm.
I got that yesterday because I got like that Jurgens Thor run, which had a handful of issues, but
It's a
which
good run.
it's Jurgens and Kubert, like it's good. Like listen, the two gold Jurgens runs are the '90s Marvel runs. They're gold. They're
They're
gold. His
So his
cap
cap
run,
run, weird.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
And he was
Because
doing it. He was penciling that, writing that, inked by Art T. Bear, I believe.
it
But
was
he was
Art T.
writing
Bear,
Thor.
and then who took over after that?
Wasn't Bob McLeod, was it? No.
Bob Layton was a Bob.
Bob
Bob
Layton.
Layton.
That's right. That's right. Bob Layton. I
Yeah, it's
knew.
fucking clean. It's
Don't call
fucking
me Bob.
gorgeous. Gorgeous.
But he also, simultaneously, was writing like 6 issues of Aquaman, drawn by Steve Epting right before he went to CrossGen,
Oh,
which
okay.
is like really
Right.
good Steve Epting stuff. It's got Warlord in it.
That's right. Yeah, Warlord. Woo.
It's good stuff.
Woo.
So yeah, Hip Flash dude, I'm excited. I want to. I guess I got to try to get my collection together and put it in the right order.
I don't
I
know.
guess.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do here? So are you going to eventually give me a a Hip Flash hardcover with all the shit, and then that Ladron sketchbook together,
But he's
or
done. But he's done.
is that Ladron sketchbook already out? Like
Is
I
this
don't
going to be
know.
separate from the rest of like? Is he going to do like a Hip Flash collection and then like an Elephant Man book to go along with it? Like, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah,
But
I
Richard
don't know.
Starkings. Here's the secret about Richard Starkings. I think he holds on to everything. When Carl Kiesel went to do his Kickstarter for Section Zero, he hit him up. He's like, "Hey, what do you have from Section Zero?" And Starking's like, "Oh, I have everything." Like he got incredible digital files from him because he has
Mm,
digital files he was lettering. And then Starking's like, "Yeah, I don't like these letters. I'm just going to reletter it for you before I send it to you." I'm like, "That's
Jesus.
awesome."
Yeah, because it's not gonna charge him. It's
No, he just
not
wants
asking
his
to be charged.
stuff to look better because
Yeah,
because Kiesel's not rich. He's
yeah. I mean, Starking's got a guy
so. My
who's
wonder
doing
is,
Conan.
what else does he have digitally? Like, does he have like any awesome stuff digitally? Does he have like Fighting American?
Do you have awesome stuff? Well, what's the deal with the Fighting American? Can that be printed?
The Simons want too much money, and Liefeld's offered him half the profits of a collection because you got his 2 issues with
Yeah.
him and Stephen Platt and Jeff Loeb. You got the 3 issue Ed McGuinness series with Jeff Loeb. You got 3 out of 4 issues of the Stephen Platt Jim Starlin. We never got the last issue published, which Liefeld has, by the way, unpublished Stephen Platt Fighting American issue.
Splat.
Splat. So Liefeld wants to do a hardcover collection. I jokingly said, "Well, just get a new inker in there and just change Fighting American to Die Hard." And Liefeld looked at me like, "Not bad, not bad."
Right. Well, that's kind of what he did with his Cap issues.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's exactly what he did with Cap issues.
What? La la la.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I've heard people say, no, it's totally original. Oh no, it's totally redrawn. And it's a little bit of both. I've seen some of the original Platt pages in person, and I see the Fighting American overlay. But it's a shame we didn't get that full story. Stephen Platt's Captain America Heroes Reborn story was like going to be like 5 issues, 4 or 5 issues,
Mhm.
minimally 3, and it was like real X-Filesy with like aliens and technology, and like we really lost out on that book. In fact,
Yeah.
the potential even of Liefeld doing Agent America before he went with Fighting American. He has these 2 promotional posters. He's got all these crazy looking, awesome characters. You got a MODOK looking dude, and you got like these Crimson Guard looking guys. I'm like, where's that book? Like, give me
That's
that
right.
book.
Agent America. That's right. So basically, if anyone knows what we're talking about, is in the '90s. Was it was it 2000? When
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was Heroes Reborn?
1996. 1996 was Heroes Reborn.
Okay.
Liefeld does Captain America. Marvel goes bankrupt. Then they go and say,
They
hey,
were contracted. Jim Lee. They were contracted for 6 issues with
6,
renegotiation.
no, 12 issues.
12 issues.
They had a contract for 12 issues, but they had to keep up certain sales, quote unquote. But they were like unrealistic sales, never going to happen. So Liefeld and Jim Lee. And by the way, on Observations Heroes Reborn, it's like a 5-part series that's just incredible.
Right.
So anyway, Marvel goes bankrupt, which gives them like an opening to renegotiate the contract, and they offer Liefeld like an embarrassing amount. He's like, "No, I'm done." And they try to threaten him. They're like, "Oh well, if you don't do it, Jim Lee will do it." And Liefeld's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to pay my guys less because you guys went bankrupt." When clearly these books are still a huge success.
Right.
They're still selling hundreds of thousands of copies, and you're going to try to lowball them now. Plus, like at the time, what we didn't know was Jim Lee was almost going to be publisher of Marvel Comics at that point, which is like crazy. So Liefeld says, "Well, I'm really into this patriotic mode. I got these couple Stephen Platt pages. I'm gonna have him keep working on it. We're gonna change it to Agent America." Marvel, I think, gets wind of that, and they want to stop him. But before they do that, he gets in contact with the Simons. Simon's like, "Yeah, you can use Fighting American," and then they sue Liefeld for like Fighting American being a ripoff of Captain America. And Liefeld goes to court with the hardcover to Fighting American that Marvel reprinted. Fighting American was a 50s Harvey comic created by Simon and Kirby, the guys who created Captain America.
Because at that time, they were fired off of because they were moonlighting in DC.
Yes.
Doing Green Arrow and shit. They were doing
So DC, so they got fired. And they created their own patriotic character, which was a parody character. It wasn't, the first issue was kind of serious, but the more they went through it, Fighting American became very much a satire of society and comics. It's really good stuff. So anyway, Liefeld gets the rights to Fighting American. Marvel sues him for, he's a ripoff of Captain America. And Liefeld's like, look, here's a collection that you made in the late 80s of Fighting American comics from the 50s. And the judge almost like looks at Marvel like, what are you doing? Like, this is stupid. Like, and Marvel's like, well, he shouldn't have a shield. And then there happened to be a magazine cover that Joe Simon, Jack Kirby drew, where he's got a shield. So
Right.
like everything
Right.
got thrown out. I think Liefeld consented to like changing his boot tops to like a goldish brown color. Because I think Fighting American didn't have quite Captain America boots, and I
Hmm.
think he wasn't allowed to throw the
Buccaneer boots,
shield.
basically.
Yeah, the Buccaneer boots just slightly changed it, and he wasn't allowed to throw the shield. So like they photoshopped the shield out of the comic and put in like a bomb. It's pretty fun stuff. It's like who cares? Die Hard had a shield and he threw that.
Right. Well, what's
Youngblood number
funny
four.
about it is that basically, like it's not that it's super parallel. It's parallel to how Image started, right? Because he wants to go do Executioners. He wants to do like a team book called
Yeah,
Executioners. They threaten to sue him. He changes it. Then he's like, I'll just go do it myself. I'm gonna go do Youngblood now. So he goes to
yeah,
Youngblood, right? And then puts Berserkers in, which are the Executioners. But with this, basically, he was contracted to 6 issues. 6 issues were getting close to up. Then I guess it fell apart. He was already working. Him and Platt were already working on the back six, right?
right,
So,
right,
and then
right.
that's where it was solicited as Agent American when we saw it. And I think the consensus when we talked about it in the store was like, there is no wasted art. There is no
You
such thing
should
as a
never.
piece of Liefeld art that's wasted. So he's like, okay, well, I'll just what was it? Smash? Was that his whole character? Smash? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Smash was his whole character.
Right. So you already had Hulk. Make him purple. Well, was he purple with green shorts? Did you just
Something
flip
like
it?
that. Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
right. So
Like,
just flip it. It was like,
just do it.
purple shorts. Nah, we'll just make him purple. You know what I mean? Like it was
See,
no different than that.
I think in a world, I think I would have preferred Agent America to Fighting American because remember he was like, oh yeah, Agent America is going to fight this conglomerate called like Chapter 11, which is
Oh
a
yeah,
joke
that's
on
funny.
Marvel going through bankruptcy. He had some
Right,
funny
right.
ideas,
Yeah,
but then
and that
again,
would have fell in that. But the Fighting American book was just a Captain America book, basically. It
the
wasn't a parody.
it the first two issues, correct. I think it's Stephen Platt artwork that was going to be Captain America, and then it's Liefeld artwork that maybe he was going to go that way,
Yeah.
but I think the Liefeld artwork is mostly new. If you look at Liefeld's artwork, that's pure Fighting America. That's not Captain America changed.
Right, right, right.
But like, it doesn't really feel like Fighting American until the Ed McGuinness miniseries. That like really like
Right,
has
right.
a whole entirely different feel to it.
And then it goes
Man,
back to Platt.
and then it goes back to Platt. They try to do pencils to color. Like Liefeld inked some of Fighting American in the first issue, and then it was early pencils to color technology. I would like to
Mhm.
see it inked, honestly. Like if he ever does collect it, which I think will happen.
Yeah. Well, he might be able to. Well, what I was going to say about that Fighting American hardcover is I remember looking at that before, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. When I was a kid, it was
Yeah,
that like it was at Walden Books or something. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, because it was just I didn't understand it. I was like, how is this out? How is this not? You know, how is this not
yeah.
like
I
sued?
think I
Why
read a
weren't they getting
comic.
sued?
I think I got a comic shop news that explained it. God bless
Okay.
comic shop news.
Yeah.
Seriously, for poor kids, that opened my eyes to like a whole world.
For poor
If I could get a free previews and a comic shop news, I was like happy for a month. You know?
No, that was everything. That was everything. So, uh, moving along, here's so they do this every year. So they do the Free Comic Book Day, Energon, then they'll do like a print version of it. So
Right.
this is
A
the Energon
nicer
universe.
quality paper, I think. Right.
Yeah, that's not bad. This we already talked about a little bit. This is the in the Conan book. They talk about number 25 being an Alex Worley full painted. No
Right.
problem. Sounds good to me. Whoa, there we go. Take that. Um, these books apparently did not come out. They ran a story in Bleeding
Okay.
Cool.
I'm glad you covered this because I saw the article, but I didn't see.
There was like 7 books. I forget what the last one was. These are the 6 books. So a Phineas and Ferb book, a Valiant Comics didn't come out. This that's a Fantagraphics uh, Marvel.
I'm
You know,
excited about reading some of that. So they're collecting
they put
stuff
one out
that.
this week. They put out Tower of Shadows this week,
Okay.
and I saw preview pages of it, and it looks like it's actually it kind of looks like that where I was going with that Fighting American comment is that if Liefeld ever got the rights to print that, do
Right.
that slightly golden age style print. I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense, but maybe homage that cover, which is it's just all white and then cap like that. You know what I mean? Like like Liefeld to draw that
Right. Right.
cover would be pretty great. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
have that same type of thing, Simon and Kirby. You know what I mean? Like just because you're going to have to reference them. What's the character in Last Blood? Is there?
Captain Freedom.
Captain Freedom, right? So
He's public
that's
domain, so anyone could use him.
right, right, right. Well, can you just do these and say they're Captain Freedom?
You- It would it would require. See, here's the thing: it will require a costume change, which would be a lot
Oh,
of art to change. But you could do it. I mean, you just take. I don't know what you can do with computers nowadays. You can Photoshop. I got a friend. I got to send you a picture. He converted a Liefeld Superman cover to a Liefeld Supreme cover, and it's amazing. You'd be like,
mm,
it looks like a original piece of art. So you can do anything with Photoshop,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you could change Fighting American to Die Hard.
You change Bloodshot. Give me Bloodshot. Give me the Deathmate red pages, right?
The Deathmate Red page is 100%. I don't know if I ever told the story here, but I had this idea of taking the Deathmate Red pages, and you could turn that into Youngblood #5,
Mhm.
or like a young like it fits minor changes. You could change it to a Youngblood in continuity story where you just have to Photoshop Bloodshot in the chapel.
Yeah.
And I rescripted it, and I really enjoyed my script. I think it's really fun.
I like my own script.
I do.
Uh,
I reread it. I'm like, oh, this isn't bad.
yeah, this the Lost Marvels like line is pretty cool because they're doing like a Chaykin Volume 1 and Volume 2 apparently, which is kind of
Mm,
crazy. So they're doing like all his like almost American flag characters. They're kind of American flag. Like it's
right.
got it's it was Dominic Fortune and then there was a Monarch Star Killer, which is kind of like a Solomon Kane in space. Like it's like
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So I mean the influences are all over the sleeve. So yeah, but then there was a King Arthur book, Princess Guinevere, Flash Gordon Adventures, which I think Mad Cave. No, actually I think that no, that's a Mad Cave. Yeah, that was a Mad Cave, and then Hero Bear and the Kid, which I thought was done. I thought
I
that
don't know.
was,
I don't
I
know.
thought that's been done a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened there. We talked about the Butch Guice. This Wildstorm book at the bottom. I don't remember ever seeing that. Storing Paradise. I don't remember ever seeing that before.
Yeah, I don't
So
know. Hmm.
there
Yeah.
is. I have a back issue magazine which has a pretty good Butch Guice interview. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to kind of go through. I know we talked about Winter World a little bit on the phone this week. Which I think was an 80s mini, and then they either did it again or IDW or somebody published it a couple years ago, potentially recolored it. But yeah, that the X Factor was probably my introduction to him. That X Factor one shot that Jim Starlin wrote. Jim Starlin, I mentioned to you on the phone the other day too. Jim Starlin just felt very dangerous when I was a kid because Jim Starlin, I think I had the life and death. I got a trade for the life and death of Captain Marvel. I'm like, this
Right.
guy kills everybody. I
Hmm.
had I had the death in the family, kills
Right. Right.
right? Then I had this book where pretty much the beast just bangs this chick. It's just a romance. It's just basically like a
Yeah.
prestige format. It was Jackson Guice, and then it was Paul Mounts colors, I believe. And to me, Paul Mounts colors meant it was a special.
Right.
So if it was a if it was
It was a little darker. It was a little
prestige format,
airbrush looking, or
yeah. So it was like it was a special situation. So um, yeah. So I'd be curious. And then he left Micronauts to do Sword in the Swashbucklers, which I've never read. I think I almost had a set one time in the dollar bin and I didn't have all of it, so I opted out. Um, but actually that's funny. That Micronauts issue is when he goes from leaving that style. When he did X-Men Micronauts, that's when he was leaving his Michael Golden style, right? Which
right.
actually everyone drew a little bit like the person they left, right? So this specifically,
It, it,
Jackson
it
Guys
it's like a
drew like
transitioning thing.
Golden, and then
It,
who
it
inked
helps the
Golden was or no, who inked Butch was Kelly Jones. And then Kelly Jones, when he first started, he was like it was like an amalgamation of like the new Butch Guice, the old Butch Guice, which was an old Michael Golden, and then he became Kelly Jones. You know what I mean?
that's actually it's a pretty important trick to pull off. Like
Mhm.
Ryan Otley, he tried to do a little bit of Corey Walker when he took over Invincible to help the transition from one artist to the next. Eric Larson said the same thing with Amazing Spider-Man. He said, "Let me put a little more Todd into this
Mhm.
because I made the mistake." Like Larson said, he made the mistake when he followed Steve Lytle on Doom Patrol. He didn't do that, and it was so jarring. Fans like didn't really take to Eric Larson on Doom Patrol at first.
I know what he's doing. I'm fine with it.
No, it's fine. No,
Don't change your shit, Derek Larson. No, I get it. No, I do understand that. It was a shift because I remember thinking it was another book altogether.
right.
Didn't they have a was it a special or an annual? Didn't they
That
have
came
a
out first. The Suicide Squad Doom Patrol
Okay,
special.
right, right. I think I remember looking at when I was a kid and going like, "What's this art? What is this?" You know?
That's funny.
Yeah, just like I knew it was something. I knew it was a little bit different than what I was used to. So, and yeah. So I think we should do that. But yeah, there's like a little bit of the timeline here. We have and I wish I knew why this book happened, why the Amy Grant and Amy Grant was just like she was this Christian singer. So who decided this? Did he must have decided it because again, it's prominent, or was he? And I imagine that before Photoshop, he was doing somewhat reference because most of the stuff that looks
Did he just
real.
really, really like her?
I have no idea. It's just really weird. It's literally that if you get the album cover, put the album cover side by side, it's the album cover, and then literally just put in red. Like it's not different. But you look at it there and you have Baron Blood, you're like, oh, she's a vampire. It's just Amy Grant. Like you know what I mean? It's not she.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
put bangs on her.
It's the weirdest move
It's
ever.
so weird. And then they got sued for it. Um, and then he went back to Action Comics for a little bit. Then he did Ruse. Uh, oh, that's right. He did the Terminator Endgame miniseries. I don't remember that.
Oh,
That
that's right.
was
I forgot he
I thought that
drew
was Chris
Olympus.
Warner.
That wasn't bad.
Olympus.
You ever read Olympus? It was a
No.
humanoids book written by Jeff Johns.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Birds of Prey we looked at a little earlier.
Mhm.
There's a pretty good run Birds of Prey. And then let's see, Ruse, Olympus, Aquaman relaunch with Kurt Busiek, Storming Paradise, Ultimate Origins. I forgot that too.
Oh, that's
Captain
right.
America: Winter Soldier with Edward
Bendis.
Winter, and Avengers, Jim Zdarsky co-creating the Futurists, Patrick Stiles. Allegiance Art. Oh, so to talk about the digital stuff real fast is Allegiance Art. There's 3 issues published. I have all 3 issues of the Futurists. Number 4 never went to print. Allegiance Arts is still active as a website. You can
Right.
buy all the issues digitally for how much? $4.98 each. Why are you doing that? These books are 4 years old. Throw me a 99er. Throw me a 99 cent. Put it on put it on Indie Planet. Throw it over there. Give it some
Yeah, but
exposure. I do a print on demand. Do an Amazon through print on demand.
it's true. Make a
Guess
trade of
what?
it.
There's number 4. Number 4 is only available digitally. I don't want to spend $4.98 and have a copy of 4.
Right.
And I'm not even confident that's the end of the story. Because it seems like everything in that entire line, they had like a Bass Reeves story
Is
too.
it how are they how many pages of story? 20?
22,
30?
24. Yeah, like it's hefty. It's chunky,
All right.
It's a good they're probably it's on par with like, an image book today. And like it feels just like most of the free comic book type books. The thicker ones, the heavier ones, IDW, like the image, like it's something. It's something. I don't know if it was ever 4.98, and what's a bummer about it, and I put this in my post, is they had a little side cap. I used to work retail, worked at Toys R Us, but like so the side cap literally is like a wing, and
Right.
it's all metal. It's a metal grate, and then you could put pegs in there. You have all this hardware, or you would get. We love these things because it was like a side cap display. So the back of it just would come with like these little hooks. You just whole thing. So and it was but it had art on it. It said Allegiance Comics art, like it's and it didn't do well, so it's just trash. You know what I mean? It's like I can't get that. Like it's not necessarily a spinner rack, but there was some art on there. That would have been cool if that's a remnant somewhere. You can eBay it, but it ain't there. You know what I mean? Like, cause
Right. Right.
what are the chances of that? Of having that. So yeah, but a lot of good feedback. Kelly Jones inked him for a long time. Graham Nolan, Dan Jurgens, Epting, Perkins inked him on Winter Soldier. I want to say.
And then
Uh,
took over Ruse, right? After Epting left?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I mean is that like I feel like these two guys
Or no,
went to
after
the
after Guice left. Epting did something. What did Epting do?
that Epting did Crux.
Yes, Crocs.
Yeah, so they probably were studio mates together down in Florida. Studio mates.
Yeah.
Here's the news of the week. We talked about this when we have a We have a podcast going up very soon of a review of Deluxe Rob
Right.
Liefeld's
Where
Youngblood
we
Deluxe #1.
right where we try to compare the original printing from 1992 with the digital version they made in 2006, then comparing it to this new deluxe version they put out in 2025.
But
So the book did good, sold out. Liefeld thinks some stores didn't order enough because they're like angry with them for not putting out Youngblood 2025 first. But it sold out. Stores couldn't keep them in,
yeah,
so Image went back to print, and
I don't know if that's a
we got.
valid. I don't know if that's a valid complaint because this was announced and it was always announced October was Youngblood, and I don't
Oh yeah,
think.
it
Yeah,
was always announced he's still going to do the book in the fall.
right, right,
It's
right.
just he's taking.
I think when orders were due for this initially, but the second print is still going to be one-sided. So it's not a flip book like Youngblood One's a flip book.
Right.
The book of Youngblood Deluxe is not a flip book. A lot of pages from there's a page
Because
from
they
Youngblood
blended.
Zero
They blended the two
and a
stories.
page of Youngblood Two as prologue.
Kind of
Paper
correct.
page. That's correct.
That's correct. So yeah, this is a really cool Juanma
Yeah,
recolor of the back cover to Youngblood One.
yeah. So we needed that.
We did.
There it is.
There we go. So
Wanma.
what's this?
Oh.
Look at that. How cool is that? That's the original coloring.
Oh, we missed the corner box. Is that original corner box or is that something from an interior panel?
I think it's original because there's a different corner box. Oh, this is the Tom Mason colors from 2006.
This is your scan from the hardcover?
Yes, my scan from the hardcover. Oops, a little
Yeah.
crooked. Oh well. That's the scan from the ash can before Image Comics #1. And here's the variant, like I think you had pointed this out. What you? Oh no, you got Youngblood #2. Look, different corner box art, different colors. This is the original 1992 colors.
Son of a bitch.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 sets of colors for this cover.
Wait, is the Youngblood one other side? Does that have any variant colors or no?
No,
Weird. Damn
it
it.
is weird. I know.
Damn it. Because I don't know if I have 3 Youngblood ones. Shit. So, for example, like when I do my Youngblood board later, right? So now, because I have to do Youngblood 2, god damn it. Because I got to do Youngblood 2 with the colors here. Color difference is
Yes.
there. And then the color difference is there. So I need 4 Youngblood 2s. Damn it. I don't think I have 4 Youngblood 2s. I don't, by the way,
Yeah.
I don't need these at all. However, I like them. So, yeah, do I need 4 fucking Youngblood 2s? God damn it. I guess I just have to decide.
It's okay. I think Wildcats has different cards inside. Like Wildcats #1.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
you're
it's
right.
so that's the variant there with Wildcats.
And then what are you going to do with that? You're going to, you got your Die Hard, you got your Bedrock.
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 Wrong name too.
Yeah,
It
that's right,
says
because that has Billy
Billy
Kinsey.
Kingsley. Yeah, Kingsley. And in the book, he's Thomas John McCall.
He's 8 foot tall.
He's
He's
big.
1,800 pounds. That's what I was saying in the comic when he's walking around his like living room. You need some stuff.
Dude, there's got to be like no basement, okay? And like the floors are just a concrete slab.
Yeah. Can't call him Bedrock though. It's so funny they changed his name and then he was in
People
like every book.
people think Hanna-Barbera sued Liefeld. Oh, they sued him. They sued him.
Right,
You
right,
can't
right.
sue over the name Bedrock. Guess what? It's a real thing. You know,
It's a real thing. Correct.
it's
Yeah.
so dumb. People think, oh, Liefeld got
Look at
sued.
me. I'm
No,
Profit Face. Let's see that. Is that coming
no,
out?
nope. We're not seeing you at all.
Yeah.
Fail.
I forget it.
Yeah.
Fail.
So Liefeld was not sued over the name Bedrock. He chose to change it. First off, Bedrock sounds better. Like so much better.
Bedrock.
It's a cooler name. And you know what?
I love
Like,
it.
yeah, guess what? He's a kid and he wants to change his name. He probably, it's the 90s. Why wouldn't you call yourself Bedrock? It's a 90s name. Say he was never sued. He foresaw the movie coming and said, you know what? It's just easier if I do this. Yeah, no lawsuit there.
No lawsuit.
No.
So, but yeah, so now I have to get, because I have the Youngblood 1, I got the foil cover. So I have to get a Youngblood 1 foil cover deluxe for my Youngblood wall. And what was that one? That was the ash can.
That's the ash can.
And then different than the keepsake.
Yeah, the keepsakes, which are nice.
Keepsake has some art in it. So
It has uh,
Ah, man.
has a piece that's not been used as a cover too.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Let me see if I answer my own question here. So let's see. Oh no, I answered the question. So it's from the frontispiece art. The frontispiece, not
Okay.
original corner box art, because the Riptide is the Riptide
Oh, is it?
frontispiece. Yeah,
Okay.
frontispiece, but it's colored. You know, frontispiece. Second print with the gold wraparound. Yeah, give me all of it. Give me all of it. They had a Wildcats one gold there too. It was $40.
Oh
And
wow.
I think it was only 20% off or 25% off at Main Street for the wall book. So I think I found it one time for DeLuca. I think I found it in Brave New Worlds in outside of Philly. I want to say it was I think it was $20. That's $20 book, I think.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? There was something I think I saw recently that had like a gold. It was Youngblood, but they had gold. They had like a gold like lettering. Is that a real
For
thing? I
which
don't
young
know.
blood?
I'm not sure. I swore I
Oh,
saw something
there's Youngblood
recently.
Zero's got a gold embossed cover.
Mm, might have been that.
All right. Yeah, Youngblood Zero gold embossed. Supreme One gold embossed. Supreme Prophet One had gold embossed.
Son of a bitch.
I know they're fun.
Son of a
Traditional
bitch.
Supreme, Traditional Supreme One already had a silver embossed Supreme logo, but then they went and made the gold embossed. And like I think I said to you before on this show, the newsstand edition was just pink lettering. So
Right.
cheap.
Right. Yeah, like this is worse. Like the gold on the strike file sucks. The
Yeah.
silver's way better. This
Yeah, because
sucks.
Strife is silver.
Yeah, but there's a lot of silver. It's all gold in the nameplates and stuff, you know. You know. Well, this is kind of a bad. I forgot about this. I forgot about this, but because I was going to put this in, I have to put this in my like, my Ohatmu. But these are kind of shit
God bless you.
because these were the cards, right? These were the trading cards that were in the Executioner song. Does that seem right? Or these
Hmm.
were all original?
I felt like they were original. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think some. I feel like some of these were. I felt like that was a trading card. No, that cable.
That is that Capullo?
Yeah. Oh, that maybe that's the
That's the
3D.
hologram.
That's the hologram.
Yeah.
I see.
There's
I see.
a super rare book you need to find. It's called Max, Marvel, uh, Marvel Avengers X-Men, and it's got
Oh
like,
yeah.
do you have it?
No. That's where they have. It's the anniversary issues, right? That's right where they before they did their crossover.
Yeah, yeah. But that
Yeah.
book, it's super rare, and it's got like all the holograms has like original art. It has the like colored pinups. I mean, it's a pinup book, so it's got
Hmm.
original stuff you've never seen,
I
and the
think we covered it
holograms.
because that had that issue about the Mike Manley miniseries that never happened. I think we covered
Okay,
that a little bit before. We covered it. Covered it, Rob. We're thorough in unpublished stuff. We need to do unpublished
we love it.
episodes. Well, we need to publish the episode. So, but I
We need
think
to
that's all
publish
my
the
news.
unpublished.
I think that's
Yeah,
it.
I don't have anything extra to add.
There it
You know,
is.
this
Look
is a
at
nice short
that.
show.
Meh, meh, meh. Yeah. All right. So there's the. Oh, so my joke on this one. So here's these are posters or cards, whatever they're doing with the gum, blah blah blah.
Right.
Bad gum. Hopefully it's bad gum.
I hope it's
But
disgusting.
I do think it's funny that they're all looking up. So I joked to you earlier when we started the show. I was like, yeah, they're all looking up. And the Superman slogan for his movie is "Look Up." So I was going
That's
to
right.
change these and just put up here like take out that logo and just put like Superman and then put the Superman date. But like Reed Richards is, and I'll put Mr. Fantastic today looking up, looking up, looking up, looking up, and then put Superman there. Boom. Photoshop it.
And they got that rocket ship. That's important.
Yeah, I wonder, man, I don't know. Oh, what's funny is I saw comments, and every time I think of this concept, I think about no that Norm Macdonald fucking joke, man.
It's so
It's such a
perfect.
funny fucking joke. Because even Herbie's looking up. Look at that. But it's such a fucking funny joke. But like, because someone wrote in some of the comments when I was seeing the comments this on X and Threads, whatever. Like when they were putting this, they're like, why does Mr. Fantastic have like doesn't have any white in his collar? And I'm just like, because he's Mr. Fantastic. He's got to be this much better. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Extra special. I do think that this might be a cost saving thing, having him not all rocked out.
Maybe.
I really wish he changed his voice though, man. I hate it.
I don't know. I
I
don't
hate it.
know. I don't hate it. I don't know if I love it, but I don't hate it.
I hate
Because
it.
I think in the comic he's supposed. I think Kirby and Stan Lee said he just talks normal.
This is not a story.
His tongue's not
I'm
made out of
telling you right
rocks.
now. I'm telling you right now. This is bullshit. I don't think
Eh,
this is a real story.
Listen, man, if you're going to do this movie, just do friggin' X Force. Call up Drew Goddard and say, "Hey, we're going to do X Force,
You
like you
still got
wanted
your
to."
script hanging around? Right. You still got your script?
Yeah, and we got Josh Brolin back as Strife because that was the villain in Drew Goddard's movie.
Mm. Young blood,
Yeah,
young
man,
blood.
fun week, dude. Oh, speaking of Youngblood, I ordered the manga editions of Youngblood #1.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
All right, you let me
those
know.
those manga editions are great.
What about is there another cover? There's a Shaft cover. So I have the Shaft and group cover. I have the launch cover. You got me launch cover. I got the Shaft and group signed.
Right.
It's pouring now. No mowing
Uh,
for me.
I should
God,
go run out there and hurry up Mo before it starts raining.
what is all right. So if anyone, I don't know if anyone lives, well, I don't know wherever anyone lives, you know, in Philadelphia, I feel for the last year, all the windstorms are really insane, and all the rainstorms, there's no normal rainstorm now. Like right now, it's pouring. Like you can't see. I can barely see my neighbor's house. Like, why is everything so weirdly extreme? Extreme.
Or we got droughts the past 2 years. Like we never get droughts in New Jersey. All of a sudden, like we got a drought this past fall for
Yeah,
like 2 months.
we weren't, no fires, no outdoor fires, right?
And
Like,
yesterday, I'm pulling up to the street next to my house. I said, "Look, girls, there's rain ahead of us. Super raining. It wasn't even to us yet." And then it starts raining. It's raining on one side of my car, but not the other. The girls are trying to film it. It's such a weird. And then we get home and it's pouring. I'm like, "No, girls, just wait 1 minute." 1 minute later,
1 minute.
no rain.
Right.
Rainbow comes out because we're like, we can't go in the house yet. We have all our comics. My daughter's like, "We got comics. We can't walk in the
Good
house in the
girl.
rain." Smart,
Good girl.
clever girl.
Clever girl.
So
Yeah.
comics, dude.
Yeah, man. What? Well, listen, it's a national holiday. I'm happy. Listen, we're very happy to patronize. I went to three stores. All three stores had a ton of deals. I almost went to this one store and they're open today and I won't do it, but
Talk about
just
Bill. Bill's having a
no.
show, right? Bill of
Bill's having a
Frankenstein.
show right now in Philly, yeah.
But it's also
But
like a collab. Oh no, Swedesboro.
oh, don't tell me it's closer. No toll, Rob?
No
No
toll to
toll?
Swedesboro, dude. Swedesboro, founded by a bunch of Swedish people that came to America. And at one point, within the past hundred years, I think the king of Sweden, back when they had a monarchy, visited Swedesboro, New Jersey.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
weird.
is that weird? Literally founded by
Swedesboro.
Swedes.
Yeah, I can't do any more. I have to put this away. I have to put this away. Actually, I have a couple ideas of
No, you
something
got
I
to.
might
It's
be
right. You got to
doing.
blend your collection.
My collection is a pain in the ass, dude. It's such a pain in the ass to like organize. I organized it last night. It's such a pain in the ass. It's fun, but then also, like, what do I do with that Thor run? What the hell do I do? There's some things I just have to leave as a run. So this Thor run, I have to leave as a Thor run. I'm gonna leave my
Sometimes,
Thor run like just because I'm gonna have to pull that stuff out. Like, so for example, like Prophet, I have like because I like Prophet. It goes through a couple stages, right? So Prophet, I have its own section because Prophet's a Panosian, to
right? You have
Plat.
Panosian, you have Platt, but then you
So
have a couple fill-ins. So it's like, where do you put your fill-ins? Sometimes you just got to think like, oh well, Thor. This is my Thor run. This is my Jurgens run.
well,
Because
I might
otherwise,
just
you
collect
have
Thor because like I've been seeing lately. What's the
yeah,
reprint of Thor? Marvel superheroes, Marvel Spectacular.
right,
There's literally like a one for one reprint, like Marvel Tales. Like Marvel Tales is all Spider-Man, right? I
yeah.
feel like Thor has that for a while, so you can get all the Kirby's. I sold my Kirby's years ago, uh, but I can get all the Kirby's that way. Marvel Spectacular, I think it's called. So I can get all my Journey into Mystery, and then you can pretty much start your Thor run around. That's 83. Around up 150 up. 150 up, you can kind of find around. Beat up copies. I got a bunch of 200s this weekend for a dollar or less, 50 cents. But that's so after, I mean, again, it goes through John Buscema, it goes Kirby, Buscema, Keith Pollard, first Simonson run,
Right.
and then it goes to a couple. Jim Mooney, I think. There's a couple people there, and then Simonson changes it. I always think about Doug Slack when I think about Thor, because one time Doug Slack was in the store and he was talking about Thor. The corner box of Thor was always like this. He just has his hammer by his
Right.
side,
Right. Right. I remember.
and then after, he's literally breaking in 337. I think is the first Simonson, the new Simonson. He breaks it. He's breaking the logo, and then every issue after that, he's like Thor with his arm up. And because that's the way you think about it. But that's not untrue, because I feel like Thor was never really, he was always being pulled by it, like he was never, and then after that, and it's what's funny about that is that basically Thor loses. He loses the hammer.
Yeah.
It's a breaking point.
That was one of my first issues of Thor, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I got
I just
that
happened to.
trade at Walden Books.
Did you?
Yeah, I got that trade. I got it back recently. I got it back for $6. It's a good trade, a little oversized, nice coloring.
Oh, nice.
I always remember.
Nice.
Do you remember the guy in the first issue? He's like skateboarding. He's like on the ground. He's like laying down almost. And there's a guy with a big boombox. Like it's so 80s. Like it's the
Yeah.
80s shit. Like it's
Boombox. I love it.
crazy. Yeah, the boombox. So, but yeah, man, what a fun time, what a fun week. Again, it's funny what we kind of go after. It's funny that like in my brain, I'm like, I will find when on my travails, I will find FF426 for my Shogun Warriors. This I didn't expect this to be at Final Boss, but now I got. I was like, it's $10, and then it was half off when I got there this time.
That's cool.
Okay, cool, because that's
That's
an
cool.
original cover. This can't be reprinted.
No,
You know,
can't be reprinted.
and it's got a couple little dents in it. Sounds good to me. Rain's done. Rain's done, Rob. It's over. Now I can't mow the lawn now, though.
No, you can't. Sucks.
So cool.
Now you're stuck inside.
Yeah, that's all
Good
right.
thing you like
I'm fine.
comics. Nothing
Yeah,
better to do on a rainy day than read comics.
that's right. That's right.
In fact, when
Yeah,
I was a kid, I preferred rainy days. But good. I
good.
don't have to do yard work for my
I did. I
or help
mowed
my
my
dad work on
sticks.
his car.
Yeah. No dice. No dice. Youngblood time, everybody. Youngblood. So stay tuned for the special Youngblood page by page. Issue 1 does combined our favorite things, which is multiple versions and looking at comparisons. We
We
love
love
it.
it.
We
We
love
do.
it.
We
It's our
do.
favorite. So,
I'm gonna do a personal one with Savage Dragon soon, comparing the hardcover to the issues.
personal.
Yeah. I
Personal
mean,
video?
I, just by my. This is what I do for fun.
Oh, I see.
Like we just happen to be recording, kind of what we do for fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right,
I mean,
everyone. Well, stay tuned. We got reviews day coming up. We got special editions. We got some,
yep. And I promise you, the reviews day will be shorter than this episode.
maybe.
I didn't expect this. You're like, we don't have much news. Okay.
Not much news. You know what happens. But then we had Thunderbolts review. We got the
Pre comic book
some
day.
for comic book
Yeah.
day. It was a big deal.
It
So
was.
but we're really
So we're
happy
gonna,
that all the stores did really well. That's what we want.
and when we do our reviews day, we'll throw in our top free comic book day stuff.
Energon
I feel like
Universe.
it's going to be Energon, Conan, All In. Like we'll review the stuff that's important.
I'll be mad at I predict. Ready? My prediction.
Yeah.
Ready?
Go ahead.
I'll be frustrated with the Spider-Man. I'll be frustrated. I'll like the Ultimate. I'll be frustrated with Superman. Uh,
It's our first look at
I will love the Conan one. I will like the Speed Racer. I'll probably really like the Speed Racer one. Speed Racer one I think is probably top.
Yeah.
It's probably top for me. And then I will question mark Modeville, whatever the fuck this is, whatever failed screenplay this was.
Nothing worse than a failed screenplay. All right, here's my both opinions. Nothing worse than a failed screenplay becoming a comic. However, I do want other screenplays to become comics, like Kevin Smith's Superman Lives,
Right.
or
Right.
any superhero comic script. Turn it into a movie. Turn it into an Elseworld special. Get Jerry Ordway to draw it.
Yeah.
I want Superman Lives by Jerry Ordway. Give me Superman Flyby. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I wonder if this was supposed to be lettered. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Smells good. Smells good. This
I mean,
is
look,
very
Daredevil.
expensive, though.
Daredevil Man Without Fear was a Frank Miller movie script.
Yeah, and then it was there's so many we have to kind of go through all the different Marvel ages and how many times that was like it's a mini series. Or no, it was a hardcover. It's supposed to be an original hardcover. That
Do you remember hearing a rumor? This is a Mandela effect. This is a Mandalorian effect. Do you remember Marvel asking Alan Moore to write a Silver Surfer movie script? It's a weird memory I have before I think he turned him down, but I think he entertained the thought because he had written a movie script or two back in the 80s. In fact, there's an animated movie based off one of his scripts. I don't know if you ever heard about that or talked about that.
No.
I gotta look for that information. But yeah, they made an animated movie off one of his scripts, and he wrote other movie scripts. Like one was like Fashion Beast about I think the fashion industries in the 1920s, set to the Beauty and the Beast theme, which
Huh.
I think Avatar ended up making a comic adaptation of that.
I don't know.
So it's one of the few Alan Moore things I haven't read yet because I have no interest in fashion.
Have no
But
interest in that.
I'm sure it's a lesson. I'm sure it's like a history lesson. I'm sure I'll probably enjoy it once I dig into it.
Right.
And that animated movie, I forget what it's called. He had a superhero team he was creating back when he was working for 2000 AD, and he ended up just never doing it. It seemed very Guardians of the Galaxy ish, but like UK version. And I think some of it got turned into Miracle Man, like part of it. I think there was a Miracle Man style character on the team, or I guess Marvel Man.
Marvel Man.
Weird. It's weird the stuff like we said that doesn't happen. That doesn't get
Right.
published.
Right.
Alan Moore is the king, or I just know so much about him. I know all his projects that didn't happen.
Correct.
All right.
All right, everybody.
So before we spiral off into other directions, everyone, reviews day coming soon. Youngblood #1 deluxe compared to original Youngblood comparison. Keep up with our. Check us out on Twitters and Instas, and have a good week.
All the socials. Have a great week, everybody.